interesting. The odd and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on The Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Christina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is The Jay Thomas Show.
All right, Kevin Meaney will be here in just a little while.
I'm here.
No, there he is. He comes in right on time. There he is.
I'm a professional.
Kevin Meaney, that's right. It's part
I
of the...
have to be here because yesterday's show, I heard that. Oh, God.
You didn't like yesterday's show? Why not?
You need to have someone in the ha-ha seat.
No. You know what's funny? You're like a union guy. You know how those union guys feel threatened if something's going to happen to their jobs?
You know, I mean, that Madison, so what? She had a baby, okay? You come in here and you have a baby during your shift. That's what you do.
Her mucus plug came out.
That's good radio.
Her mucus plug came out. Well, you took, poo-poo medicine on the air. That was exciting when you had to take your test.
That was like having a baby. So I kind of know what she went through. How was she doing?
Now, did they find anything? Are you going to be with us longer, or you're healthy? What's going on?
Oh, they found cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So how long
they didn't find cancer. God, why would you say that on the air?
Well, I
Terrible.
tell you,
it makes no sense.
I told you I have a buddy, and he had the same thing. You had. He had the test, and they found cancer.
Yeah,
and
they do. They do find it.
And he said, they said, they cut out whatever they cut out, but they said, that you need chemotherapy. Mm-hmm. And you need radiation. And he said, nope, I don't want that.
I don't want it. I'm a Christian Scientist.
No, you know what? He's a guy that's lived, I tell you what, the story I tell on the David Letterman show about throwing about the Lone Ranger story.
The Lone Ranger, yes. We love that story.
It's the guy in the story. It's him. He's my friend for all these years.
Oh, it's Hayden Church. What's his name? David Allen Greer?
No, it isn't. It's not any of those people. He does have three names, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah.
But
Lloyd Lindsay Young.
He says to...
It's Lloyd Lindsay Young.
No.
Hello, White Plains!
He said that he had lived long enough, had a great life, and doesn't want to, lose his hair and be sick.
Mom's
and all
Mabley.
What?
Was it Mom's Mabley?
Mom's Mabley, you big idiot, Mabley. Now, you know what? I'm telling you kind of a story that would be even, like a movie of the week, and you're making fun of it.
I'm jumping into the comedy right ahead.
I don't even know if it's comedy. It's just your typical...
Yeah, it's a script. The show is scripted. We went over this earlier.
You did listen yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did listen. We actually got emails about placentas. Mm-hmm. For those of you that listened yesterday.
I planted Kate's... when the belly button falls off?
The little scab?
That scab.
Sure.
So I planted that.
Where?
In the front yard.
Mm-hmm.
In the Victory Garden when I was had Al Jolson on the radio.
What grew from that?
Marijuana. So that's where we started growing our marijuana, medical marijuana, which we're all on right now.
You can also plant the scab of your son's circumcision.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett, I'm not kidding. People do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Because as you wipe it with, baby oil.
Baby oil.
And it eventually, the thing comes off. I'll tell you something. My third and last child, we truly believe that and we thought at one point, maybe he'd been abused or something had happened to him that we didn't know about. But from a very young age, he could not be touched down there at all, and he always had crazy dreams and stuff.
Right.
We think that he, as a newborn baby, felt the circumcision.
Oh, God.
And there are some research out there now that says it doesn't happen, like most of us have operations.
I'm feeling it right now. Can I say that?
Yeah, and there are people
in the groin area
that don't even know that they felt it.
Yeah,
and they'll have issues about being touched down there, even even sexually or whatever. And it has really caused him like a lot of problems. Now
Can we get him on the phone right now? And
no,
just
we
talk
cannot.
some
We cannot.
sense
No,
into
but
him?
when he was little, I mean.
No, but even now we should. I think
No,
we should
no,
talk
no.
to him.
No, no,
You
but
talk
when-
to him as an adult about,
We've
his
mentioned
problems?
it, but he says that's ridiculous because, of course, he can't remember anything.
Do you ask him any questions sexually? How things
No,
are? No,
I don't
you
ask
him
anything.
that.
I don't know. Now he's different than the other one, and this is what you'll have to deal with one day. The other one would bring girls into the house and go into his room,
Right.
and we would go down there at 1 o'clock in the morning. So he's like 17 or whatever. And we'd, see what's going on. We'd open the door and they'd be in the bed together.
Yeah.
And I would go upstairs to my wife and I would say, he's in the bed with the girl.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, what should we do? Like that. I said, I think my dad would have gone down there and said, get that slut out.
Yeah,
He'd have
right.
screamed.
Yeah.
She said, well, we can't do that. We can't do that. That's not what you do nowadays.
Well, that's
I go,
what
do
you do.
Well, no, the girl left, and I would say
Like,
to
for
him,
instance, my daughter will get into bed with me. And I'll say,
She's gotta
get
get
out of this bed.
no, you don't do that.
You're 10, for crying out loud. Don't you know about that girl in Mexico that's pregnant? That's 10? Stop it,
I don't
Daddy.
think
Stop
I don't
it.
think her gay father's going to touch her. That's one thing about you. We know you're not going to do anything with your daughter.
No.
Okay? We know
That's
that.
horrible. What a horrible thing to say.
Oh, really? After some of the nice things you've said about my friend who's dying of cancer and my child's circumcision and my other son and everything else, everything, all of a sudden I say one little tiny thing to you. Hey, I'm going right for the comedy.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
You probably don't realize how you can hurt people, do you?
Sometimes I don't. I just go right at it. And
You don't imagine me ever getting hurt, do you?
No, I don't. Because your father owned an oil well, okay? You owned an oil company. That's where you came from,
That's true.
God.
Because I was
You
raised
had
with
it
money.
tough. You had it tough.
Well, we did have it tough, and I'll tell you
No,
why.
you didn't have it tough.
He wouldn't join the swim club at the end of the street, okay? Because he didn't want us to have it too easy.
Yeah.
And my friends would be at the swim club, and I would go down and look through the fence
Yeah.
at the
You'd all
kids
be
swimming. And it was at the end of the block. And I don't know what he said, because he didn't like people that were members of country clubs.
Yeah.
And then, let's see,
What was this,
we had to go to
Groucho
these.
Marx?
We had to go to these really tough schools. We had to go to the top schools.
You went to
Jesuit high school.
Catholic schools.
Which I enjoyed, but
Yeah.
but we really had to. I mean, it was like, and not that he was Catholic. It was just the best thing. So living with somebody that was at the top of their game made us, and now my brother reacted totally oppositely to the whole thing.
Yeah.
He is not competitive or interested in working or driven.
Doesn't even get his car registered, does he?
He doesn't have a car anymore.
No.
Car was repossessed.
Repossessed, yeah. Didn't
Gone.
make the payment.
Didn't make the payment. Car
I would
repossessed.
like to have that done. I'd like to have my car repossessed. Is that
Well, you
what
know
happens
what?
when that happens?
If his tooth came out, he didn't get it fixed. His car got repossessed. He didn't get a new one. People lend him cars. People like him no matter what he does.
Yeah.
I'll give him money or we'll help him out or whatever. And at the end of the day, he goes fishing and he feels okay about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he just deals with it. And the oddest thing is that it really might be the best way to live.
I have friends that make no money at all, but they travel around the world. It's like they're millionaires,
What is
and
that?
they know how to work it,
My brother lives rent-free.
Yeah.
He got some sort of a deal after Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was a staunch Republican until Katrina. And now he's a Democrat because of the money he gets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gets $400 for his son who lives there, as long as his son is in school or something. And then he gets another $800 or $900 or something, and the rent's maybe $1,200.
You should have him sell gumbo for $3 a bowl.
Boy, you did listen yesterday, didn't you? You did listen, didn't you?
Weeping, naked.
do you mean you were weeping there?
There I was listening to you.
Did you find any of it humorous, or you just
Of course I did. That's why I listened. I enjoyed it very much. I was on my way. I had to go up and get my daughter.
Do you know what I'm going to say before I say it? Because sometimes when I'm listening to somebody on the radio, or like I'll go to a stand-up, somebody's stand-up, as a like kind of person, you kind of know where they're going with things. Were you able to?
No, I'm not like that. I'm thoroughly entertained.
Wow, I take that as. So I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
I really get. I love listening to the radio. So.
All right.
And when my name is mentioned, I'm even like glowing. I'm just like, look at that. I didn't even have to come in.
Did we mention? Did we mention your name?
Mentioned my name. I was taking care of my daughter. So
that's right.
And I was on my way to dinner. I wanted to put her on the radio. But
let's go to Ray of Pennsylvania. 8884. Ray of Pennsylvania. By the way, a very funny comic is walking through the hallways of Sirius XM, and we're going to have Brian Posen come in.
Oh, wow.
Hey, can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah, I can hear you. What was that press one thing? What was
it? My silly phone. I have a palm.
Exit, press star.
Well, it's screwing the show up here.
No,
why don't you press a button?
Press a button.
Press the number of the option you wish to select.
What the hell? What kind of crazy phone is?
Information about the
well, I can't hear a damn thing you're saying. You're ruining the whole show.
Help messages at any time.
Garrett,
what I was trying to say, Jay, was yesterday I enjoyed your story about Facebook with your wife and her friends and all that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, because you're such a pratfall kind of a person when you do your comedy, I wanted to know what were some of were you a student of vaudeville?
No, I was. No, that's Kevin is a student. Kevin is a student of vaudeville. No, I'm not. I'm not a student of vaudeville. What the hell with the thing going here?
What happened, Jay, is my phone made a conference call to my voicemail at the same time I was trying to take you off of intercom speaker. So it's the fucked upest, most toxic.
This is like the Buzz Aldrin interview. Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Ray, I don't. You know what? Thank you very much. See you later. Oh my God, was vaudeville. The only time I used to work with props, but I actually brought a rubber chicken. Remember you used to buy a rubber chicken?
Well, Johnny Carson had a rubber chicken always behind the desk.
And I was doing a bit on.
That?
Yeah, I was doing a bit on stage at the Improv.
Sometimes I pull my cock out.
And a woman got the rubber chicken, and I was making fun of her somehow, and she hit me with the rubber chicken, and the legs of the chicken went around and really hit my eye really hard. But I had another 10 minutes to go on stage. Have you ever been injured a little bit on stage?
Sure, yeah. I've shit my pants on stage.
Like your knee twist? What's happened to you?
I've shit my pants on stage, and I've had to finish up. And I had a white pair of pants on.
No,
I was in Puerto Vallarta with Bobby Slayton.
And you shit on stage?
Shit my pants, yeah. And, just exploded. And, I'm so desperate. I've always needed every cent that I've made that I said I better finish this set before I get off the stage. Because he's not going to pay me, unless I do the time.
Did the brown come out of the pants?
Yeah, then I get off the stage and I go, Chip, the guy that owned the club. I go, Chip, you got to get me out of here. I said, I shit my pants. Get me out of here.
Mike of Vancouver, the Jay Thomas Show. The reason why people are talking about yesterday is I just, went on by myself with Madison was having the baby, and I said, let's not struggle to find anybody. I can certainly do this alone. I've done it for years. And I'm sure, Mike, you enjoyed it as much as everybody else did. Correct, Mike?
No, I turned it off. I couldn't listen to you and Buzz going down memory lane for so long.
You turned it off yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, what was I supposed to do? Mike, what would you have done, Mike? The guy's 80 years old. He wants to go to the moon. No, wants to go to Mars.
Did you ask him about his sex life?
No.
You didn't ask him if he's still... Because you're on the radio. You're on the Sirius radio. What about Bernie Madoff? You could have asked him about him. Did you invest with Bernie Madoff? Do you know Kevin Bacon? I would have gone down that road.
Kevin, did you listen to that interview?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
that's when I took my clothes off.
And It was like two old men whittling on the porch.
Oh. Well, I actually fell asleep while I was driving.
Back in my day, I could have said a name that nobody will remember and an event nobody will remember.
What about when Jay said, "Did you ever want to be a star?"
Yeah, that was hard.
You know, when. No, I never really wanted to be a star.
No.
Well, because he became a star, and I was using it, of course.
What do you mean he became a star?
Buzz Aldrin is a star. He's a superstar.
Star.
Buzz Aldrin is on Dancing with the Stars.
Okay, he's on Dancing
Buzz
with the
Lightyear is named for him. He's the most famous astronaut that anybody knows.
Really?
Name another astronaut right away.
Neil Armstrong, Sally Ride.
All right, that's bad.
John Glenn.
You know, Mike of Vancouver.
Uzuku Takamori.
People bitch at me when I cut people off in an interview, and I get the emails, and they go, "Oh, you cut I was interested." Then I let the old fart talk, and now I get a ration of shit from everybody.
It was just the names that you would say, like these.
What names?
Obscure names from the past that nobody, under 90 would know.
What names?
When you were first interviewed by Walter Cronkite.
No, I didn't. I did not. I talked about why he didn't get
next to you, wasn't he?
I talked about why he didn't get any money from the Disney company. Isn't that terrible?
He went on for 45 minutes.
I don't care what he went on for. He's an icon, and I kept him on a long time, and you can just go fucking drop dead.
He needed his Jell-O. Apparently.
You know what? I want you to stop being funnier than me.
Did you get my email that said, Gramps, go eat your Jell-O and we'll visit you next week?
I saw it. I got it. I wasn't going to say that to him. All right.
All right. I got that off my chest. So.
All right. I'm glad you did. Goodbye. Goodbye. Shut up. This is a terrible way to bring in a guest.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him. I'm glad my name isn't on the show.
Mike Poston, welcome to the Jay Thomas Show. That's Kevin Meaney there.
No, not
Brian Poston. I'm sorry. Mike of Vancouver just threw me for a loop.
Wow, that is
Brian, I'm so sorry.
I'm sitting next to Brian, and he's like, Mike, what is that all about?
Many of you know Brian from the Sarah Silverman Show. A listener just threw me for a loop.
What did you say? The Sever what?
Sarah Silverman Show.
He got it right the second time.
You've been drinking, Jay?
No, I haven't. We're having Sarah come on soon. She's got a new book coming out, and you're here first. You're here before her.
I'm not here to plug her book, though.
No, you're not. Now you're promoting your new CD of fart and wiener jokes.
Uh-huh.
And
you like highbrow comedy, right?
Well, wait a minute. We've been trying to get, in fact, there was a big panic here this morning. We have been trying to get the CD with the fart and the wiener joke. It's songs, of course.
Uh-huh.
And they were telling, Garrett, you must step in and tell Brian, because he's managed by people.
I was not allowed to have a CD.
We weren't allowed to have a CD.
Yeah.
I don't have a CD.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, I don't know why you don't have them here. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you don't have a fart and wiener joke CD with you.
No. I wish
Can
I
you
did.
get it on iTunes?
Yes, you can.
So why don't you just get it on iTunes?
Because when you're interviewing somebody, you don't want to have to buy.
That's that whole payola thing that you're from.
Isn't payola? Go on iTunes, Garrett,
album?
and buy it. Use Kevin's credit card to buy it.
He has a few tracks.
Yeah, I'm really sorry you don't have it. I wish you did.
No, you know what? Can I be honest with you? You gotta bring them with you, and then we put them in the machine and we play the thing, and that causes it to be sold.
Right.
We actually have an iTunes bit
works.
from his CD.
Yeah.
We have an iTunes bit from his CD.
So
Okay.
play that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, Brian, you've been a writer. You're a comedian. You're with the Sarah Silverman Show and the whole thing. How is it going for you out there? And the fart and wiener thing. I mean, what was the genesis of that? How did you decide to release this?
To call it that?
The fart and wiener joke. CD.
Well, how did I come up with the title? Or?
Yes, that's the first thing.
It's a thing I say in my act. I try to get people's expectations low, so whoever I'm following, I'm like, well, time to take off your thinking caps. because I'm about to make it stupid in here. And I brought all my fart and wiener jokes from Los Angeles. And it was just the thing I said. That's not all I have. That's mostly what I have.
But you know what? It's funnier than the thought-provoking shit that comedians try and put out there, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm not one of those guys.
You're not
like
a thought-provoking.
Lowbrow. Yeah, I know.
No. Now let's look at some of the movies you've been in, because when I have, by the way, Posen is spelled Posehn, a tough spell.
Yes.
Now, if you ever became a big movie star, would you consider, respelling your last name like Posen or something that could be?
I think if I was a big movie star, I'd be a different person. I'm not going to be a big movie star. So.
Why not? Why would you say that?
Because I'm the character guy. I'm the guy who comes in and says something stupid and then walks out. I know my place.
You know what, Kevin, you and I.
He's the guy who spells his name Posehn.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly
That's
right.
that guy.
You've got to stop thinking like that. Kevin and I never have thought like that. We got to the precipice of stardom. And then even though we've caroomed off of the cliff, and we're heading in our roller coaster career.
Like Bill O'Reilly using different, words that we haven't heard.
Yeah, that's right. Caroomed. That's right. You have
the word
got
of the day is caroomed.
Brian Poston, you are too young to think like that. Okay. All right. Now, you were in Dumb and Dumber. Dumberer. Not even, wait. Dumb and Dumberer.
Not the famous one. No, the other one.
You were in the sequel.
Yeah.
When Harry Met Lloyd. What did you play in that film?
I played a clerk at a mini mart kind of thing. And they come in and it's hilarious. Very, very funny. Some of my best work.
Now, I was telling people,
bringing up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was telling people this the other day, that when you get a residual check, you get the same amount of money that the stars got. I say that all the time. No matter how small your part is in a film, when everybody gets a residual.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No, they all get a bigger piece, right?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Wait a minute. Tom Hanks is getting the same thing, residual, as I'm getting?
Absolutely. Yes. Watch this. Tom Hanks made, let's say he made $1 million probably back then, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You probably made $1,000. I don't know what you made.
No, I made a lot of money for that movie. I'm sorry.
Whatever. And so Tom Hanks made his money up front, and you made whatever you made, and I've made whatever I made. But when the residuals are paid, it's only paid on the actor that you're in the movie. It's paid off of union minimum, even though you got paid a lot more than that. On television, maybe they'll pay you a little more because of how many episodes you were in and the size of your character. But in the movies, we all get the same amount of money.
That's insane. I've never heard that.
It has to be that way.
Well, I'm going to call my good friend that works with Robin Williams. I'm going to ask.
No, I know that's true because let's just take Mr. Holland's Opus, right? Richard got $5 million. I got whatever hundreds of thousands I made, right? Richard gets a check for $5,000 or $6,000 and it's run all over the world. I get the same check. We get the same check.
Wow.
He got more money.
You were not making that much money from Mr. Holland.
I made $500,000.
Let me just tell you that.
I made
$500,000.
$500,000.
First of all, you were not getting checks for $5,000.
No, I just got one today. I got one for $6,500.
Oh,
for Mr. Holland's Opus?
Yeah, because
Mr.
it runs. This is not about me, Brian. This is about
Fantastic
you.
Four 2.
Now,
And I've gotten tiny checks from big movies. Fantastic Four 2.
Excuse me.
I just
Fun with Dick and Jane.
I got a check for $6,500 for Mr. Holland's Opus.
I'm going to tell you why. You know what, Brian? This is your interview, and we're not here to talk about my incredible financial success right now. I will explain when you're not around how it works.
Okay. Well, I'd like to hear, but yeah.
Would you really like? By the way, go to Brian Posehn. You can go to his MySpace, or you'll find him, I guess, on iTunes, and his new CD, Fart and Wiener Jokes, and on the Sarah Silverman Show, you'll also see him. Now I'll explain it because we're here for you. You realize that?
Yeah, but this is super interesting because there's no way that I get the same amount as Jim Carrey.
Garrett. Let's go to a break, and when I come back, I have the check on the desk. I'm looking at it.
Well, that's not going to...
I have the check on.
Hey, Brian, may I say this? I hardly know you. Hey, asshole, the check's right over there. We're going to go to break, and when I come back, I'm going to prove it to you two, okay?
Yeah.
So just stay where you are.
You asshole, Kevin.
You guys don't know anything about anything.
Jay Thomas Show. Every day something new, something bizarre. For you, for now. The Afternoon Drive Show on Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139, and on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
It didn't load. You're up.
It didn't load. You're up. Think about that. Mm-hmm. You know what? Don't put this in one of my audition tapes,
That's
okay?
what she said.
Okay. Hey, Kevin Meaney is back in our studios in New York. I'm coming to you from the palatial Sirius XM studios in California. And Brian Posehn. Go to Brian Posehn, Posehn. You know him from the Sarah Silverman Show and various movies like Dumber and Dumberer, and, of course, his new CD, Fart and Wiener Jokes. Let's listen. Do we have his scene from Dumber and Dumberer? Yeah. We have that scene?
Ooh, Harry! I just realized something. What? You're it. Oh, no, you're not getting me again. Victoria's Secret, huh? Those clothes are for chicks.
$2.50.
You're it. Oh, you want to go? You want to go? Oh, Harry, jousting, 14th century. Ah, you're it. You're it. Invisibility shield. I know where you are. I know where you are.
Please pay me the $2.50.
I know where you are. I know where you're it.
Oh, this
You're
is
it.
great. When was this?
Wow.
You're it. Oh, no. You're it. Harry.
15,912 views. Is that the guy from Saturday Night Live?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. She touched you. You're it until you touch someone else.
I know the rules. I'm just not playing your stupid game. Now pay me $2.50.
They do surly well, huh?
You're it.
Yeah.
You're it. Oh, you're it. No, you're it. No, you're it. You are. You're it. 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 You're it.
Enough! You're it! And no touchbacks, no do-overs, no erases, and this whole store is home free!
Lloyd, can you do that? Oh, yeah, Harry. He can. He did. And now, it's on like Donkey Kong. Pay me. Pay the man.
Okay.
That's the best part.
I'm sure you enjoyed that. Brian Posehn from Dumb and Dumberer.
The best part of Dumb and Dumberer.
Yeah. But you know what? That actually was a big scene. That wasn't a little tiny scene.
No, that was a big scene.
Oh, no, I come back. They get the revenge on me, and I get blown up. It's all very hilarious.
Well,
I had to act annoyed, which was easy.
Mm-hmm.
So people actually rent that, and you get a little check. Now I went into the other room, and I got out.
Oh,
I mean, I just got this stack of checks this morning.
You just got the stack of checks this morning. No, you didn't, because SAG didn't send out the checks.
No, my agent gets them first. Oh. I'm not doing this to brag. I'm doing this to explain something. Okay. All right, hold on a minute. There's my check from Sirius for 6 months.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
$4,000.
I can't see it.
Okay, now, $6.94. Okay?
$6.94.
From American Dad.
Mm-hmm.
That makes video, sense. DVD, and pay TV. I play the best friend. I did one episode. They never used me again. Okay? Never again. Okay. $144.35 for A Smile Like Yours with Greg Kinnear. That's because not a lot of people rent that movie and it doesn't play a lot. Okay? Here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
$6,679.90 from Mr. Holland's Opus. Pay TV, basic cable, video, DVD, free TV, European cable.
This
European
is a mistake.
It's not a mistake.
and you're going to have to pay that money back.
Yeah, they're
No,
gonna hear
I'm not.
That's
something
You're
in
in-
Paramount or wherever.
Yeah.
No.
It's like,
It's a mistake.
No, it's because it gets rented a lot and it makes
get
money.
Thomas's check back.
Does
No, and Richard Dreyfuss and all the other actors in it got a check for
No, he got
$6,000.
one for $600,000 today.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He doesn't own. Now, here's another one. You're making fun. $8.73 for, I don't even know what it is. Oh, some sort of episodic television. Isn't that
Yeah,
something?
no, those are the ones I get. Yeah, the low dollar ones.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is for appearing on some talk show or something like that. I don't want to brag.
You don't want to brag.
I don't want to.
No, don't brag. Yeah, you don't have
I don't
to.
want to. Well, here's one. $24.27 for Boston Legal.
That sounds about right.
What did you play on Boston Legal?
I played a guy at a dude ranch, and I slept with William Shatner. Wait a minute. $346.46. Another for Mr. Holland's Opus. This one comes from South America.
Oh, yeah, it's big in South America.
No, it is. It's
Still a $300 check from South America. Yeah,
That was
Very
Chinese,
good.
by the way.
that's good.
That was.
I'm just going to put that over there. You know, I'll tell you what's weird. And Brian, you've fallen into this thing where you have to make fun and put everybody down. How come that's the big thing with comedy now? That you come on someone's show, they're trying to help you out with your what did you call yourself? Your character man career. You have no desires to be as big a star as you should be. Right. And all you try to do, and you're with Kevin now, so it's like catching. You're trying to hurt.
He's
You're trying to
hilarious.
hurt.
It's
You're
one of
trying
my
to hurt.
favorites.
Do you know that Kevin was arrested in San Francisco? and
I
machine
know
gun
all
was
about
pulled?
it. Yeah, I
That's
do.
right.
It's a very famous story.
I'm a
It is
hero. I'm a hero to
Yeah.
the folks in San
Now,
Francisco.
Brian, let's hear a little bit about you as a boy. Were your parents funny?
No, and yeah, my mom has zero sense of humor. My mom ruined comedy movies for me. I was raised by a single mom, and she would take me to see everything I wanted to see, but we would see, movies like That Darn Cat and stuff like that, the Disney movies when I was little, and she would always walk out, and I, would have a great time. The cat was crazy. That was hilarious. And my mom would always be like, that movie was ludicrous. That movie was not funny.
Because she was intelligent, your mother.
Yeah, she's a very smart lady, but zero sense of humor. I got that from my crazy grandma.
And what does your mother think when you put out your newest CD, Fart and Wiener Jokes?
Oh, man, she's been shaking her head for years. Like, everything I ever do, she's like, nah. Oh, Brian.
Hey, you're making fun of that now, but that's injurious, isn't it? That can be injurious. All right?
Yeah.
Brian Posehn here, whose life was ruined by his mother and is struggling now.
No, she made me probably who I am by her going,
Because you had
"You're
to
not
fight
funny."
against it.
Yes.
You had to fight against it.
Yes.
What about your dad?
I didn't have one.
You just appeared one day?
Yeah. No, he
There was no sex involved?
No, it's just a bummer story. He passed when I was very little, so. I was told by a comic when I was really early on, hey, don't tell people your dad died. Tell them your parents got divorced. So we'll use that.
Why is that?
Because it's depressing to talk about your dad dying when you're 2.
No, but you didn't know your dad.
No, I know.
Was there a picture of him in the house?
Yeah. He looks
Did his
super
eyes
cool.
follow you around the room?
Yes.
This strange man that you didn't
That's
even
very
know?
frightening.
Yeah, and his eyes follow you around, and your mother was married to him, had intercourse with him. His semen
At
went
least
inside
once.
of her,
Yeah.
covered her eggs. The next thing you know, her mucus plug came out, and you were born, and then the placenta came out after
Yes.
that.
Oh, we're back on placenta. Yeah.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. You have a child now, I
Yes.
understand. All right. What do you remember what you
we did it
with
through sex. Yeah, that's how we made it.
Do you remember what you did with the placenta, by the way?
I ran her through the hospital with it on my face and screaming at people. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
You know what?
Cedar Sinai just running around. And I had my pants off. Is that good? Just screaming. I went down to the other floor just so other people could see it. Yeah.
Because a woman that works with us, her
Did
mucus
the same
plug,
thing?
her mucus plug came out right before the show.
Mucus plug. That's got to be a name for a metal band. I don't know why it isn't.
And she was rushed to the hospital, water everywhere, and had the baby yesterday. And so we started talking about the birth situation. And I said, we had this big discussion because in California, when I was having my kids, it was, no drugs and all that stuff.
Yeah, but
and
this
then
was like when you had your kids, this was like back in the 60s?
No, it was 17 and 19 years ago.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
So we took the placenta home and we buried it at the base of a plant, a tree or something. But there are people that have eaten it. Do you know this? That have made like a sauce out of it or whatever?
No, one of my idiot friends made some jerky out of it, I think. Yeah. I think it makes its own jerky. You just kind of put the placenta on your windowsill and you got jerky the next day.
You know the Pine Sol girl?
The Pine Sol lady?
Diane Amos?
Yeah.
My friend Linda Hill cooked her placenta at her apartment. And had it in a big pot, and she was stirring it up with a wooden spoon.
And did they eat it?
I'm sure they were super high, right?
They were
Two old hippie ladies.
I'm sure they were getting high, too.
Yeah. Can't you smoke the placenta, too?
Yeah. They cleaned it up with the Pine Sol.
Garrett, would you go online and find the placenta teddy bears?
Sure.
Did you find those?
It's funny you mentioned Diane Amos. I just brought her up on another radio thing I did because she kicked my ass on Star Search.
Really?
In 1994.
Oh, my God.
She schooled me. I won one. I beat David Feldman. Remember David Feldman from San Francisco?
Feldo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Evan Davis beat me on Star Search.
Oh, really?
And I was, then he went into AA the next day.
What's that horrible thing?
That's a placenta baby?
That's a
teddy bear.
No, it's a teddy bear. And can we put that at jthomas.com, please?
Sure,
yeah.
That's going to be horrifying.
What is that?
It is a teddy bear made of placenta membrane.
My God! Who is that for?
It's for.
It's in Saw 7. They make you lick it. For you to live, you have to lick a placenta teddy bear. That's so awful.
It looks like jerky. It's like a mouse.
I'm not going to eat tonight at all. That's so horrifying.
Brian
Poston. Somebody sewed it together. Ugh.
Yeah.
Brian Poston is here. Let's look at. Do we have some of his songs ready to go? Did we find one from the Fart?
I think so, yeah.
And Wiener Joke CD. When did you release this
very morning
piece of entertainment? This very moment. Let's listen.
It came out today. Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. I say, here we go.
Oh, here he goes.
Here we go.
He's got a look on his face like it's not going to happen.
No, it's coming. It's just MySpace doesn't like when you pause.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
This isn't my stand-up. This is a song I did.
Are there words to this?
Oh, it's coming up. I know, it's so funny.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
It better be.
I could do this.
Heavy metal. When I was just a kid, it grabbed me by the nards like no other music did. I became obsessed with it. I had to have it faster, more heavy and more brutal. Metal was my master. One day I met the serpent, wandered from the city, started talking metal, said my kids were shitty. Then he tried to judge me because I didn't look at what I know was really metal. Fucking see you in the pit. You claim that I'm not metal? Bunch of shit you're talking. You say that I'm not hard enough and I should stick to talking. Metal's a competition. I'm not hardcore like you. Well, you may think you're metal. I'm more metal than you. What you can't do with you. I'm more metal than you. That kid's got a rock and reel. I'm more metal than you.
Get it up, Jay?
I'm more metal than you.
Where are the farts is what I want to know.
That's on the comedy portion of the record. That's I did. It's 50 minutes of stand-up, and then it's these two songs I did.
These are metal songs.
Yeah, pretty much. I did.
So I'm a little
thrown.
Yeah, I'm a little stunned by where you're trying to take your career.
Well, no,
I'm
it's
trying
not
to
that.
figure out. You're very funny. You're very eclectic. You had the picture of your dad who his eyes followed you around the room.
Yeah.
Your mother tortured you as a child.
That picture that was your mother's placenta?
Yeah. That I fashioned into a rabbit. Yeah.
I'm trying to see where. So are you? Is that a heavy metal band or is just your tribute?
It's
Metallica?
I used my friend Scotty Ian from Anthrax and a couple other buddies of mine that are accomplished heavy metal musicians, and it's just like a fun side thing for me to do. I'm on a metal label, and I my last record I had a lot of fun with. I had 2 songs on my last record, and so on this one I wanted to do 2 more, and it's just a side thing for me to do. There's no other aspirations.
And the metal people.
I have a lot of fans that wear black T-shirts. And have
You're
pop
like the
tits
Slayer of comedy, is what you call yourself, right?
So those fans are good fans.
They love it. Yeah, it's for them. And
But how do
the
you
rest of the
open
album's for everybody else?
Stuff. That's the whole thing.
All of us have had this situation when we're first starting. I'm sure Kevin has too. We've opened for a rock band or a metal band, and it was the worst experience I ever had in my life. Do you open for heavy metal bands, and do they sit and listen to you?
Not on a regular basis, but I have now. I opened for this big band, Mastodon, last year, and it actually went well because half the people were there to see me too. And now, like, I'm kind of, I'm known in that world, so they give me a little bit, they give me a little bit of slack. I still have to be funny, but they're not going to yell homo right away when I pull the mic out of the mic stand, So they'll give me a second to be funny, and if I don't, then they'll yell homo or whatever else they want to yell.
I'm reading here that with all the pre-orders, you get an autographed digipack.
What?
Pre-orders.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
You get an autographed digipack.
Yes.
You've autographed some digipacks.
Yeah. Do you know what a digipack is?
No, I have no idea.
I didn't even know what it was either. It's a CD, Jay. That's what they call them now.
Jesus Christ, why isn't it, I try to sound much younger than I am, and I can't keep up.
No, they're making up new words for shit. It's to confuse us. I'm 30-13, I'm not even that old, and they're trying to lose me.
So what's going on in the Sarah Silverman show? In her book, one of the things she talks about is that some famous rock star came up to her. You know this story.
Oh, yes.
I don't know the story, so tell it.
Sarah Silverman is politically incorrect, as we all know, and very funny, and dated Jimmy Kimmel and all that, but is always politically incorrect and says bawdy stuff, and she makes fun of Hispanics and blacks and everything else. A famous rock guy who she was enamored with and thought was great came up to her and said, "You're my favorite comedian," and I'm quoting from her book and stuff that she said, "because you tell the best nigger jokes."
Yeah.
And she was very offended by it.
Yeah.
And the guy said it twice, and she's no longer a fan of his and everything else.
Yeah.
And as I read it, you know what I'm thinking? When people do politically incorrect stuff and make fun of, like Lisa Lampanelli and all, what do they think that people are thinking that they're making fun of? I mean, it's politically incorrect, and those words enter your head when, it's like she makes fun of a Mexican person, and the person says, "I love her because she tells spick jokes." I mean,
yeah, but you're a comic, so you get what she's saying, don't you? I mean,
no. I think that when people do that, they are bigots.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
No, I think
you're so angry, Jay. You just got a fucking check for $6,500.
Yeah,
$66.97.
Go cash your Mr. Holland's Opus check.
All right, be lucky, be grateful.
You know what? When we come back, Brian Posehn is going to explain to us why, when a comedian makes fun of black people or Hispanics or gays or anything, why we're supposed to think that they're being ha-ha funny and that in their heart they're not racist bigots. Stay where you are.
The Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. Stars 2. The curious. The extreme. The fascinating. Jay Thomas. On Stars 2. Sirius 108 XM 139. And on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app. It's the Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. A great way to waste 3 hours. It's the afternoon show on Stars 2. Sirius 108 XM 139. And on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
And Posehn, His new fart and wiener joke CD is out there somewhere, even though we're not going to hear the fart or wiener jokes yet. Also, he did. You did like a couple of years on Just Shoot Me on NBC. That's where I remember you from.
Yeah.
A show that I don't know who laughed at that show. I mean, David Spade was funny for a minute, but I don't. And I just saw a rerun of it the other night, and that woman, the girl, what was the girl's name?
Laura San Giacomo?
Jesus Christ. Who fucking hired her and thought she could tell a joke? It was just pitiful. You must have been dying watching those idiots. She'll never work again.
I really liked my experience there. I had a great time.
I'm sure you did. You were very funny.
George Segal is hilarious. George Segal was one of the leads.
But she was the lead.
Right.
And they bring in David Spade.
She carried all the story, and Spade and I would do the retarded jokes, and then,
Guess what? That's what a sitcom is, okay? Yeah. They could have had a placenta play her part. Now,
a placenta rabbit?
So when Sarah Silverman does her stuff, and she's not as rough as Lisa Lampanelli, and then they get accused of being ethnically bigoted or whatever, you defended it and said, well, you understand, don't you? And I really don't. So explain it to me.
Well, you're a comic, right? I mean,
sometimes.
Well. So you understand, I mean, I feel like I have no taboos when I'm around my friends. I don't really do that kind of material. I don't do it, but I feel like Sarah has enough ironic distance with it, and then the fact that she, and if you listen to the actual jokes...
wait a minute. That's the greatest bullshit term I've heard in a week. Ironic distance. IRONIC All right.
You know what I mean, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's sort of a bullshit thing to say, but it's also, that's what she does. That's her career.
But don't you think deep down inside, it's there?
She's absolutely not racist. No way. I mean, she's one of my best friends. I know she's not.
Really?
No, I wouldn't be hanging out.
Really?
No.
Next time I'm with her, I'm going to tell some of my... I'm from the South, and I know some really horrible racist jokes.
No, and I know what she means because I know when people get you wrong and when people think that they're getting you, and then they come up and they're listening to it on a different level, and I know what she means. And she does say things that I would not say, and things that if I did say, people would be trying to murder me because, I look like
one of the worst things?
I look like a white supremacist, so I can't say anything like that.
You do look like a white supremacist.
No,
you don't. You look like a Jew from New York with the glasses and the nose and the beard.
I feel like I look like the smart guy in the biker gang. Like, hey,
no,
guys,
you don't. You look like a Jewish comedy writer. What are you, crazy?
All right, both.
Come on.
But no, I do get mistaken.
You look like the clerk from Dumberer and Dumberer.
Well, anyway, but when I meet rednecks, they think I'm one of them all the time because I have that look. But anyway, I'm just saying I can't get away with that thing, and she can because she's a cute girl, and that's her career.
Is she tall, by the way?
Medium-sized.
She seemed tall to me. Now, what happened between Sarah and Jimmy Kimmel? What was that about?
I don't know.
You would think
Isn't
a pudgy
she coming
little...
on the show soon? I mean,
she is.
Do we run out of things to talk about me?
No. I'm asking you this question.
Fucking around.
If Sarah Silverman was like in love with you, and then you broke that would be. I put you in the same physical area as Jimmy Kimmel. He's not attractive, and neither are you.
A fat guy.
Fat guy, and he's funny, and you're both very funny.
I find Jimmy Kimmel very attractive.
Oh, really? Well,
I think he's very attractive.
That's another opinion, isn't it, Brian?
We'll tuck your wiener between your legs. And,
Why in God's name? I would have done anything to keep her,
Yeah. I don't know the whole story, and I can't really comment on it. But, I feel the same way. And she's one of my closest friends, so it was hard for me to see her get hurt. And she really did.
Really?
It took her a while to bounce back from that. She was really hurt by the whole thing. And
I would have loved to have been there to catch her.
We were in production on the show while she was going through it, and it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I felt bad for her, the fact that she had to, then come to work and be funny every day. When you're going through that kind of thing.
Maybe that was good for her.
No, it probably did help.
What nationality is Jimmy Kimmel? Is he?
He's an Italian gentleman, I think.
She probably made a lot of
Kimmel's
Italian
a German
jokes.
name, but
right. Well, thank you for being so honest with us, Brian.
Of course.
Brian Posehn, by the way, now one of my favorite character actors in America, and his new CD, Fart and Wiener Jokes. We just received. From Twilight Headquarters, placenta recipes. Garrett, can you open that email and bring it up for them?
Twilight Headquarters. You mean the gay vampire movie?
Yes. It shows the placenta with a fork next to it on trays. Placenta spaghetti.
Oh.
Cut the meat of 3/4 of the placenta.
Oh, my God.
Then brown quickly in 1 tablespoon of butter.
Oh, my God.
Add tomato puree.
Oh, no.
No, quit showing.
Oh,
2 cans of crushed pears. Pear tomatoes, I mean.
I'm gonna pull my
Clove of
eyes
garlic.
out and throw them at Kevin. This is awful.
Now, for those of you who would like a placenta cocktail, it's 1/4 cup of raw placenta.
Jesus Christ.
The sandwich looks good.
8 ounces of V8 juice.
The sandwich looks
Oh, that
Ice
panini,
cubes.
that placenta panini looks all right. Yeah, look,
How
nice
about the
little pressed
placenta
bread.
lasagna? Have you seen that one?
What about that girl right underneath the sandwich? She's there getting her placenta? Or
Yes, she is. There's a woman with the baby in the placenta.
You asked to look at it. We didn't have to see that, but you're like, hey, what's that? What's that? She's
Brian
underwater.
Posehn, Posehn. You'll love his stuff, especially if you're in metal and comedy. You'll love him. Sarah Silverman show he's on. Brian, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me, man.
888-410-210. If you go to jthomas.com, you'll see Madison's Child. You will see our
color is
placenta
the child?
recipes. What is it?
what color is the child?
It's a white child.
Oh, she had a white baby?
Yeah, white baby.
Okay.
And Kevin Meaney, where are you performing this weekend? Where can folks look for you coming up anytime soon? What's happening?
Oh, that's not a white baby.
No, Kevin.
That's
where
an
are you
Asian-
performing,
Asian
Kevin?
baby.
Where are you performing, Kevin?
I'm going to be at I'm not going to be anywhere this weekend, I don't think.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And Brian Posehn was just with us. I've asked him to come back in for just a moment. He's on the Sarah Silverman show. And you play a gay guy on the show, and this is the question I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin just came out of the closet in the last couple of years, announcing on our show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to kiss a man on the show? Are you ever going to kiss a man?
No, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Well, you're playing a gay guy. Why don't you ever
Yeah,
kiss?
but have you
I don't
seen-
get that. You play gay, but you never kiss anybody.
Well, that's what we're doing. I mean, the whole thing was to kind of keep it away from the
Would you
cliche.
call that, what would you call it, ironic distance?
Sure, but I was trying to think of bullshit words to save me.
Yeah. You said you wanted to keep away from it. I thought
No, I
ironic
mean-
distance.
Have you used ironic distance before in an interview?
No, I think I'm going to pull it out of my ass today.
First one?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
First
yeah.
time you
Did you pull it out of your ass because you play a gay character in the Sarah Silverman show?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if that's ever come up before. That's
So you play gay, but you don't, you see, here's the weird thing. I think that if you're going to play gay, you've got to kiss a man, and that's what a character actor does.
Jay, you were raped in the ass.
It's a
okay,
silly
because you
show.
played
I
gay.
mean,
all right.
If I play gay, Kevin, I'm not gay, but I would do this. I demand, listen, if I'm going to play the part,
weren't you
I'm going
raped in
to
the ass?
kiss him. No, I'm going to kiss a man.
Well, we did a thing where we just got married, and right when we were about to kiss, we had our minister go, no one wants to see that. And that's just the joke. I mean, and it's partly because of our size. And I wrote an episode, if we ever get to do the 4th season, where we're talking about how we're having trouble in bed and none of our friends want to hear about it. And it's not because we're gay. It's because they don't want to hear about us. Because we're both horrible looking men, and they don't. It's
So
not
it's
that
too
they're
disgusting
It's
to
not
even-
that they're grossed out by gay acts; they're grossed out by our gay acts. That's just the joke that we're going for on the show. And
Can
the
you
fact
get
that
Kevin on that
we
show?
fist bump, yeah, sure.
You fist
Kevin?
bump?
Yeah, we fist bump that's our way of
I mean,
showing.
fist bump. I said pump.
Yeah, I meant.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't-
No.
I fist bump.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Fist bumps.
Yeah.
All right.
And
There's a
Brian,
lot of
thanks
fisting
for-
going on our show. Yeah.
Thanks for staying. For this is more of a grilling than an interview. You realize that?
Yeah, I felt a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're violated, don't you?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
violated.
I mean, if you were arrested and had to go in front of a grand jury, you would do fine. Okay.
Well, I'd bring up ironic distance about whatever I did.
I've tried to keep an ironic distance from that.
I'm going to use
Now,
that.
don't tell Sarah Silverman anything that I've said.
I won't.
About her.
What
comedy.
about if she's listening?
She's not listening?
She could be listening.
Because when she comes on here, I become a complete chicken shit and will not say any of the stuff I said to you.
Wonder if she invested with Kevin Bacon.
She's too busy
I mean,
out there
with,
being
Bernie
racist.
Madoff.
Yeah.
We ran Kevin Bacon off the. Hold it. Kevin Bacon left this show unhappily. Caroline Kennedy left this show unhappily. Who else?
Did you bring up
Eddie Izzard, who I think is fabulous, left this show. Eddie Izzard left this show unhappily.
Did you bring up the grassy knoll with Caroline Kennedy? Is that what she left?
No, I didn't.
Where were you? Where were you on that day?
Wasn't your mother really trying to escape rather than help your dad?
Right.
I said that. Okay.
Oh, that was
And by the way, where is
just
that?
a neat freak. She was just trying to clean up the
All right.
clean up the brain matter.
Thank you very much. Brian posted. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right. Coming up in just a few minutes. Now, I'll tell you why this guy's coming up here. I don't know if your live-in lover watches, or your mother or somebody watches these clean house shows on television, Kevin.
Yes, the hoarders.
Yeah, my wife watches these hoarder shows.
Your wife doesn't work, though, does she?
No.
No, she doesn't.
No,
my wife needs to get a job. All right.
My wife married well. No, she has a job. She's a jewelry maker.
Oh, she's a jewelry maker.
Jewelry. But here's what's crazy.
She's got fishing line at home. Just put.
Yeah, she does. She has fishing line and stuff like that.
Look what I made, Jay.
No, actually, she works in diamonds and platinum and gold. It's very high-end stuff. Because my father was, as you know, the president of an oil company, and we own an oil well.
Yeah.
Now, we're watching television. We're watching this. I can't say who it is, but I have a relative that is about to marry a person, and I found that they were going to therapy. And I said, well, gee, they're just why would you go before you get married? Because it turns out that he is a hoarder, and they can't move into his house. Dr. Randy Frost, welcome to the show. How are you, Doctor?
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
My wife and I, by the way, Kevin Meaney is here, the famous comedian. Stuff is your book, and it's about compulsive hoarding. And, are you a part of one of the television shows, or did you write this independent of one of the cable shows that's out there?
This was written independent. In fact, we started this book about 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing this research for about 15, 16 years, something like that. So it's something that I've been working on for quite some time. I was on the original Buried Alive show, the one that
Buried Alive. What's that about?
That's about hoarders.
Yeah, that's the TLC show, The Hoarders Buried Alive.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Randy. Are there enough hoarders out there for these shows to go on for a few years?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact,
how many millions?
Epidemiological studies suggest there's somewhere between 6 and 15 million people in the United States.
Wow. Now, I know that you're trying to help people, but don't you secretly hope that they hoard thousands and thousands of your book? I mean, really, wouldn't you? I mean, if you were a hoarder and you'd want to read this book, but you would have to have lots of these books, and you'd want to keep it forever, right?
Possibly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we have to get somebody hooked on your book.
Now the shows are.
CD.
Here's what I said to my wife. I said, I think that they fill these houses up because I work in, television and stuff, and they fake stuff. And
Dr. Randy, Jay was in Mr. Holland's Opus. You might remember him from that movie.
Oh,
That's
really?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just have you seen that movie?
I have.
And I have all of my residual checks stacked up in my office, and I can't move.
You just got a $6,500 check from that movie.
So here's what I was told: if you say to a hoarder, Jesus, why do you have all of these boxes from everything you've ever bought? They will say that one day they might return a computer or a washing machine or whatever. One show that I saw, and I'm going to use the show, but it's also in your book too. Why do they keep the packing from the things that they buy? Is that, do some people throw the packing away, or is that part of a disorder that you not only keep the thing you bought, but the packing also?
Well, many people who suffer from hoarding problems will keep the packing. They'll keep anything that may have a use. And if you think about it, this is something maybe more of us should do, because we often in our society, we throw things away that still have value. Maybe they don't have value to us, but they still have a useful life if we could locate someone who needed that use.
But they don't do that.
They don't do that, and that's the problem, because what happens is their home fills with these things, and they're trying to avoid this stuff going to the landfill. But in the end, it gets there anyway, because by the time they die, someone comes in and has to throw it away anyway.
Is it really a sickness, though? Or can you just, tell somebody, come on, let's clean this fucking place up. This is a mess.
If we could do that, if we could just tell someone to throw it out or clean it up, that would be great. But
I'm saying, aren't we, we're just not being tough enough with people?
Well, it's not a question of being tough, and it's one of the misconceptions about these shows.
Right.
People look and say, "Oh,
no, I've watched it. I've watched it, and and I've seen that. I was like, just smack them around. Come on. I mean, but the thing is, I know. I mean, I'm actually, my boyfriend, his grandmother is a hoarder. So, and that nobody has been in the house for years now. Yeah. They're afraid to go in.
Well, wait a minute, doctor, if you just tell them to clean up and they panic, in fact, they get pissed off.
Correct? Right.
But I mean, that's the thing is so when you say you treat it, you would go to the person's house. Right. One of the famous stories, I guess is it called the Collier brothers?
That's right, Collier brothers.
Okay, they were these wealthy twins, right?
Right. Not
in
twins,
New York.
They were brothers. They
were just brothers. They lived in what, a mansion in New York City.
That's right. In a once fashionable section of Harlem.
And they had friends and a regular life, but when you went back to their mansion, what was in the mansion?
Well, it was, by the time they died, it was completely stuffed. In fact, the police, when they came, when the reports of their death reached them, they tried to get in the front door and decided they had to chop it down. And once they did, it was so packed full of stacked newspapers that they couldn't get in.
Yeah.
They couldn't get in any of the doors, and they had to get a fire truck and go in the second floor window.
No,
well, how did the Collier brothers
collectors? I know this one guy. He's collected like the full year of the Post, and then he thinks that it's valuable. So imagine if they go, I've got 10 years of the Post that I bought every day, and they stack them up.
I
mean, it's
you say in your book, objects in a hoard may appear to be without value to an observer, but someone who has this problem can figure out the worth of what we would think is a worthless item.
That's right. One of the characters in the book, Irene, is one of the main characters, and I can tell you a story. One day when I showed up at her house, I was working with her, and her eyes lit up, and she said, "I've got to show you something." So she ran into the other room, and she came back with a clear plastic bag filled with bottle caps. And she said, look at these bottle caps. Look at the shape and the color and the texture. And for me, a bottle cap without a bottle is the one thing I think about it is that it's trash.
Mm-hmm.
But for her, she paid attention to the unusual details, the features of it, and she appreciated the aesthetics of this object, and that we see a lot of in hoarding. It's a different way of looking at the physical world.
The book is Stuff, and believe it or not, you say that 2/3 of Americans collect something. Correct? Something or other.
That's right. That's what the reports are. People collect things. But
okay. My wife, I think, is a little OCD, and which is one of the, and she'll go through phases. Like this phase that we're in now is beach glass, right? So we have, just bottles of beach glass, right? But then she'll stop, and then it'll be whatever else it'll be. So
that's a sickness.
It is a sickness, and
you got to tell her to stop.
Every year or so, it'll be a new. It might even be knitting things or whatever. Yeah. So is that a form of hoarding when you kind of hoard for a while and then you stop that? You don't do that anymore, and I guess you go to the next thing.
Jay, I don't know if the doctor can answer that question, but I think I can. I think she's sexually repressed,
frustrated.
That's why she's doing beach glass.
Does it ever come to sex, Doc?
Knitting.
Everything's psychological. If it's Freudian, it ends up being sexual. Does hoarding have anything in your book Stuff, have anything to do with sex and hoarding?
Not really.
Good.
Not really.
Good. Thank God. Thank God. By the way, it's a, pretty easy title, Stuff. And it's just about compulsive hoarding. And Dr. Randy Frost is here. There's another thing that you have in there when you have a stack of bills or something, and you you move the stuff on the top to the bottom. What do you call it?
We call it churning. We call it
what's
churning.
that? Churning.
Yeah.
And describe what churning is?
Well, what happens with people who hoard is they'll pick something up off the top of the pile and try to process it, try to think their way through getting rid of it, and end up deciding that they either can't get rid of it or they'll have to make the decision later, so they put it back on the pile and pick up something else. And Irene, for instance, in stuff, spent 3 hours a day doing this with her papers, and the only thing that happened is that the whole pile got churned, but nothing got thrown away.
Do they not pay their bills?
Frequently they don't pay their bills because everything in their life is disorganized. It's one of the features of hoarding is an inability to organize not only the objects, but also other kinds of information. So,
do they go broke? I mean, they buy stuff they don't need. Is there a lot of bankruptcy among hoarders?
There's a lot of financial difficulty among people who hoard because they don't keep up with their bills, so creditors are calling, and they're inefficient with taking care of paperwork.
So did you ever, you have to go to you can't have them come to your office. You've got to go to the house to treat them, right?
We have them do both.
How do you find a hoarder? Do you have to go out and find them yourself?
No, somebody sends them to them.
Open your door. Let me see what you got in there.
When we started this research...
Are you Mexican? Let me see your paper, please.
When we started, we were trying to find people to study, and we put an ad in the paper hoping to find 1 or 2 people to study. And we got 100 telephone calls.
Well, there's 4 shows at least, maybe 5, about hoarding. Right now, my relative, I won't say who they are. The guy's going to therapy, and this is what they've done. They're not going to try to move into his house. Uh-huh. Now, this guy has children and had a wife and everything else, and apparently the thing is completely packed. So they're moving into another little house,
a safe house.
Yes, and I guess they're going to therapy, and the therapist is saying, in the new house, the new wife will make the decisions to what they keep. Is that one way to beat a hoarder at his own game? You let somebody else make the decision?
This is one way to keep a marriage together. Of 2 people hoard, because frequently the marriage is split up over the hoarding. But if the non-hoarding partner has control over the space and the person with the hoarding problem agrees to that, then there's a higher likelihood that they'll stay together.
But isn't there a highly likelihood that the hoarder will then kill the woman?
Yeah. By the way,
I'm sorry.
You ever had a hoarder, and when you went to see what they hoarded, it was really worth a lot of money. Like let's say they didn't do newspapers, they didn't do, junk, like they did diamonds or rings or gold, and it was like worth millions of dollars or something.
Absolutely. A couple of characters in Stuff were brothers who hoarded a very expensive pieces of art. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff.
But stacked it everywhere.
Stacked just the same way as if it would look like a regular home of a regular hoarded home with stuff. And there was other things mixed in, clothes and papers and stuff as well.
So when you see a homeless person pushing, the big giant, shopping cart, and they have all sorts of, junk everywhere, stuff everywhere. They are not just homeless and mentally ill. They're also, that's a form of hoarding because they've got plastic bags and they've got some cups and who knows what they've got in there, right?
Yeah. Well, there is a recent study out of the UK that suggested that...
Oh, what does the UK know?
Right.
Suggesting that homelessness, that hoarding is quite prevalent among people who are homeless. And
now, are you depressed when you're a hoarder, or does it make you happy to hoard?
About half of people who have hoarding problems are depressed.
So they sit among their stuff, and it doesn't make them happy, so they go out and get more stuff and pile it on top of that stuff.
In part, yeah.
Okay. From your book,
and it doesn't make them sexual.
No. Thank God. Now,
I was wondering, I mean, if I was hoarding, I think I would feel...
Would you consider a guy that has a harem, like these sheiks and all, they have to have 50, 60 women, you know what I'm saying? That's a physical hoarder, right?
Well, I suppose.
Would you call Tiger Woods a hoarder?
Yeah.
Because he's like, he's...
They call it sexual dysfunction or whatever you want to call it, or addiction. But he claimed that he needed to be with as many women as he could, and then now
he couldn't stop.
There's a book coming out about a woman who was a member of a harem, and she lived with the Prince of Brunei's brother or whatever, and he would have to have 40, 50 different women every few months. Now, he couldn't sleep with all of them. He just had to have them around in the palace. That would be a form of hoarding, wouldn't it?
I hadn't really thought about
That's a good book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sexual hoarding?
Yeah.
Sexual stuff.
Sexual hoarding. By the way, the book is stuff, and how many, let's say, I don't know, out of whatever people we have listening now, what percentage do you think someone listening knows a real live hoarder, a person that's ruined their lives by hoarding?
I suspect the percentage is pretty high. Whenever I do a lot of speaking to various groups, even professional groups, and when I ask that question, the majority of the people in the audience raise their hands.
See, I don't know a hoarder. Do you know a hoarder?
I know a hoarder.
Kevin?
Yes.
I mean, a person, when you go in their house, it's
We
screwed
can't
up.
go in her house.
You mean you can't walk in the house?
No. Nobody's allowed over there. Nobody goes over there.
So,
and they haven't
now,
been over there in years.
Have you ever cured a hoarder completely? Like you walked in and a year later you got their house squared away. I mean, have you ever been able to say, wow, I completely succeeded. They went nuts when we got rid of their stuff, and we've talked to them and everything else, and now they live in kind of a normal, environment?
Well, we do have people who get over this with treatment. We don't go into the house and throw stuff away, but we have them do it.
Yeah, they have
because
to
it won't help them if I go in and throw their stuff away. That's not going to help them. That's going to change the condition of the home for a little while until they fill it again. It's the behavior, their decisions that have to change, and that's what we focus on in treatment.
Wouldn't it be a great TV show where you had a hoarder, and then that house became a makeover house, and then you sold the house?
Yeah.
From packed with shit to beautifully landscaped. And then you sell the house.
But the hoarder would go berserk. The hoarder...
No, Dr. Randy cures the hoarder.
No, but the hoarder could... they will go berserk sometimes, won't they? If you start touching... It's almost like in...
no, they do it everything by...
But like in The Producers... Remember in The Producers when water got sprayed on Gene Wilder? Remember that
Blanky,
scene?
yeah.
And it's Blanky. Remember that?
Yep.
Would a hoarder go nuts like that if you forcibly...
A hoarder could, yeah.
I mean, would a hoarder physically try to stop you or kill you or, or stab you, Doctor?
Yes.
Yes, and I have seen cases where the person committed suicide after being cleaned out.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What about a house burning down with all the stuff in it? Same.
Interestingly, many people with hoarding problems would prefer that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interestingly, because it's not someone else making decisions about their stuff. It's
the fire god.
Yeah.
So if somebody's listening now and they know a hoarder, they can buy your book stuff. But are there many psychologists out there that can help? I mean,
there are a growing number of psychologists now. In fact, there are now probably a dozen major research centers studying hoarding. So in the coming years, we're going to know a lot. And the International OCD Foundation has just opened a hoarding center on its website.
Would you say that hoarders are the new gay?
Well, I don't know about that.
Huh?
It is certainly popular.
It really is.
Topic.
The hoarders are the new gays.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. What about when you found in your book, I forget what it was, but there were dead cats or something in between.
Chinese restaurant?
No, it was they were cleaning the house out, I guess, or and I didn't understand this. Did the animals die in the house and the person couldn't deal with the carcass, or were the cats like looking through the stuff and just died and they were stuck as the stuff was piled on top of them?
There are cases of people who hoard animals.
Yeah. Dead animals.
Dead and alive. And what happens is they try to keep them alive, and often when they die, they can't seem to bear to part with the carcasses.
Yeah.
So
they
you've
want to
gone
keep
into
getting that
someone's
Social Security.
You've gone into someone's home, and what's the most dead animals you've ever seen in a home?
Well, I have only been in homes with a couple of dead animals.
Were you gagging when you went in there? Because I would be gagging.
I have been in homes where this ammonia smell, which is the most difficult smell of animal hoarding, is pretty strong.
I would be gagging.
And some of the interviews I've done in those homes have left me with headaches for a while.
Yeah.
No, wait. So they hoard regular stuff or papers or books or whatever, and they'll hoard animals too. And so the animal will die of natural causes, and the person just lets it, decompose in the living room, or do they?
Sometimes, yes. And
do they do anything with it? Do they put it in a cloth or something? Or?
Sometimes they put it in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes they try to preserve it in other ways as well.
Do they?
It's hard not to laugh at it, but it is. I know it's sad, but and my final question is: what is it that you think? What have you found? And it won't be every time. What would cause a person to hoard? They say a wife beater, sometimes a child will grow up and hating his father for beating his mother, become a wife beater or an alcoholic. You find that, or you've been abused as a child and you become a stripper, all these things. What would cause a person to hoard? Can something happen to them?
Listening to the show, possibly?
Sure.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's not so simple in hoarding.
Oh.
There are a couple of things we know, however. Number one, it runs in families, and it may be partly genetic. It's also associated with information processing problems. There are places in the brain that appear to operate differently than for everyone else, and those places have to do with the ability to organize, the ability to plan, the ability to make decisions, which are key problems for people who hoard. And then on top of that, you have these attachments to possession. So all of these things sort of go together to create a hoarding problem. And
what about if you lost your parent at a young age, or you felt dispossessed as a child or whatever, and so you'd want to keep stuff. You'd want to have things around you.
That could be a factor, but it won't be the sole factor. It won't be the sole cause.
Well, Dr. Frost, you're lucky that all these TV shows are out there, and there's a lot of hoarders, so I guess the disease will be good for your book. And good luck, and hope to see you on...
Well, he's trying to help, Jay. Okay?
I know you're trying to help, Doctor, but you'll be hoarding some dollars on this thing,
Maybe.
All right, you will. Yeah. Hoard the Book stuff, the compulsive hoarding book, and the meaning of things in your life.
You should actually call the book "Hoard This Book."
Yeah.
Like they steal this book with Abby Hoffman.
Abby Hoffman,
yeah. Just a thought. I know it's in print.
Dr.
Right now,
Frost,
right?
It must be awful to be trying to help people, and then you run across a couple of idiots like us, and
no,
we hoard bad jokes. We have a whole hoard of bad jokes.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school? Where'd you get this doctorate from?
I got a doctorate at the University of Kansas.
All right.
Kansas is not pink.
It's not pink. No.
That's a map joke.
No, it's not.
It's a map joke.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Frost, thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Jay.
The book stuff. There you go.
Thank you, Dr. Randy.
He barely put up with you. Barely.
I did not ask him. I tried to get a sexual question in, about hoarding.
I might have a relative soon that's a hoarder. So I have.
You have a relative that's a hoarder.
Somebody's coming into my family that's a hoarder.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. That's it.
And we should have this hoarder on. I bet the hoarder that you're dealing with it's a sexual problem too.
No, what's weird is that.
What's this guy from Louisiana?
Yeah, but what's weird?
What is he hoarding? Crawfish?
No, everything. But what's weird is that. Wait a minute. No, he talked about me coming to his house. He talked about me coming to his house and stuff, and he has his business at the house. What would have happened if I'd have gone to the house and you walk in and all this shit's everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't.
Why don't you go to the house?
Well, I'm not invited anymore because now that it's come out that it's
you tell
a problem.
You tell them that you're coming to the house. You call them.
No, they don't want me there now because they know I'm going to say something.
No.
But I think
we both go. We do a live show, hoarding show.
Well,
Nobody's
my cousin
doing
started
a
crying.
Live radio hoarding.
My
show.
cousin started crying, and she's been single all of her life. And she's
how old is
woman.
she? How old of a woman?
She's like 52. Right.
Oh, and now she's marrying a hoarder.
Marrying a hoarder.
Oh, this poor thing. Tell her to just forget.
And they're in therapy and the whole thing, and
it's not going to work.
Oh, well, I don't know if it's going to work or not.
It's not going to work.
But anyway, so
he's going to kill her. That's what's going to happen.
She says, Cousin John, Cousin John, you can't go over there because he thinks it's normal. He thinks it's normal
to him. It's normal to me, Cousin John.
Because I'd have walked in and said, What the fuck is going on here?
Don't talk to him like that. He's my man. I love him so.
You need some help.
He hoarding me. He hoarding me hard.
When you said hoard this book, he didn't laugh.
No, he didn't.
What's that like? Not to be able to laugh at the affliction of these people. I don't get it.
That's what makes me so mad when I watch the show. They baby the people so much.
They do baby
Kevin
them.
said.
They find a bottle cap and they're like, I don't want to throw it out. Okay, we'll keep it. Just throw the fucking thing out and
like
say
yesterday, I watched a little bit of it, and there was this woman that goes, she had this article, and the doctor goes, well, why don't we get rid of this article? No, I'm going to send this to somebody.
I saw the same one.
Well, when were you going to send it to him? A few years ago. Well, why don't you call him and see if he... No, just throw it out!
Yeah. But he really likes the artist. Who cares? And it was from 2004 or something. It was like, Jesus.
I would like to tie them to the chair as we clean the house out.
Yeah. And that we clean it, I clean it.
And you go
because
like
when
this.
I clean, I know how to clean.
You have like an old newspaper from 1990. You're like this. Hey, look. I'm going to throw that away. Look, listen. I'm going to throw it away.
No,
let's go to
they really could kill them. I mean, he said that.
Yeah, they would
kill themselves.
Usually, when they die, they just bulldoze the house because it's impossible to.
Oh, stop!
But
They'll bulldoze the house.
But that's the great thing when you go through these houses. I mean, I've been through these.
They
houses.
knock the house down because it's hoarded.
Because it's just filled with newspapers and magazines and dead animals,
dead cats.
There was some lady that would just. Her toilet was full of shit. And
no,
shit. Yes, there was.
She hoarded her own shit.
I wanted to ask him if anybody hoarded their own feces. That was my question, and I didn't ask that.
Hello, Ace. It's Jay Thomas. How are you?
I got in there, Jay.
Yes, sir. What is it?
Well, you hung up on the guy. Now I wanted to ask him if there's any way to define a hoarder or a pack ratter or just somebody that has to collect. 'Cause I got my effing brother, and I let him stay at my house, and you wouldn't believe the shit he collects.
He's a hoarder.
Well,
he needs therapy.
Everything he says is valuable.
Why don't you get a doctor for him?
Yeah, he needs a doctor.
That's what I wanted to know, if there's an actual way to say if the guy is collecting valuable shit or what the deal is. Because, like...
Did you listen to the interview at all? Did you hear what he said? If you're collecting stuff and then giving it away or moving it or not having it causes you distress, then there is something wrong with you and you need help. You're complaining about your brother who moved into your house and started hoarding. So my answer to you is it sounds like to me your brother needs to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I'd pull a gun on him.
Or here's what you can do.
No, I wouldn't. I don't
throw his stuff away and then record it and put his reaction on YouTube.
Huh.
That's a good idea.
Garrett, do you have that kid who, when his parents punish him, goes into his room and throws himself in the bed and everything? And his brother... There's a crazy kid that his parents punish, and there's something wrong with the kid. He's mentally ill. And he goes in his room and tears his room up, and his brother...
me when I was a kid.
And he shoves a remote up his ass.
No, puts a remote in his ass, and his brother surreptitiously videos.
My mom just canceled my brother's World of Warcraft account and used freaking out. What? Oh my god.
Tears his room up.
Now you're not saying that's not sexual?
And the brother keeps the video on the computer.
But that boy needs to get private with himself. That's why he's crazy.
Oh. So Ace, just throw your brother's stuff out, Ace, and then video it, okay?
If my grandmother was here, she'd go, you get that boy in the bathroom, and you let him get private with himself. And then he'll calm down. He doesn't know what he's going through. He needs to be private with himself. touch his groin area.
All right, hold on a minute. You're saying that your grandmother recommended masturbation as a cure for hoarding?
Yes.
I see. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ace, you got it? You got it, Ace?
Yeah, I heard all that going on. What the hell?
I just said, what you have to do is throw your brother's stuff out, then video his reaction and put it on YouTube. Okay?
Well, that's the question, Jay. It's my house, and he has all this shit. He said if you throw it out, he's going to sue me or get the law after me. I said, well, it's my fucking house. Get your shit the fuck out. No, you can't do that.
Well, you know what?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
you can do that.
You can get, you know.
He has no rights. None.
You need to get him
I'm a
some
lawyer.
help.
I know what I'm talking about.
He doesn't collect knives, does he? Or guns?
Yeah, one time I came home, and he brought half a fucking hot tub home. Somebody saw the hot tub in half, and there was a half a hot tub there. I said, what the fuck's this about? He goes, well, why don't you glue that to the side of the garage, and you and your mom can fucking sit in it.
Oh, boy. And you're asking me if there's anything wrong with him?
He sounds like a great guy.
He does.
Oh.
Half a hot tub.
He brought it out, and I told him to get it the fuck out of my house. And now he's bringing home 5-gallon jugs of chicken fat. And he said, well, someday they're going to convert that into diesel fuel. There must be 55-gallon jugs of chicken fat in my backyard.
Yeah, you need to get him out of there.
Oh,
I don't know
boy.
how to get the fuck rid of him.
Well,
You change the locks when he's not there. That's what
Ace,
you do.
he needs some real therapy, and you probably need to take some
You need
legal...
to move. How about
This
if you
is your
move?
blood brother or your wife's brother? Who is this?
Every time I come home, there's more shit there.
I know. Is it your brother or is it your brother-in-law? Who is this?
It's my real brother.
Well, he was probably nuts as a kid,
Can
too,
you
right?
call your mother or father and see if they could deal with him?
No, my dad don't want nothing to do with him, and my mom lives with me, and he stays once in a while at my house, but he took over my whole attic, the whole second floor, my whole garage full of shit. And now
He
my
needs
backyard's full of
therapy.
fat.
You've got a chicken fat hoarder in your family.
Yeah, call Dr. Randy. He's going to help
You know what? I tell you what you do. All kidding aside, the guy that wrote the book called Stuff it's available now. Get the book, give it to your brother, and say, "Look, this is who you are. Read this book, and then we gotta do something." Okay?
What
All
if
right.
you were just
On
straight with
Amazon
him?
and
though?
buy it.
What if you were straight with him and was like, "What are you doing? Why are you What would he say?
Because they're crazy, Garrett.
Yeah,
Do you
but
think
well,
he's
I
gay?
don't- I feel like you could break down the wall eventually and just be like, "For real? What are you doing?"
I think it's sexual. I think it's
everything
sexual.
he has a reason.
It's
The
sexual,
chicken fat,
isn't
he
it?
says that they turn that into gasoline or diesel fuel. That's why he collects it. But he doesn't have a diesel-powered car.
But you can't. But when you say, "But you don't have a diesel car," then
Why
what
don't
does
you
he
get him a
say?
diesel car? Why don't you help him out?
Well, somebody will buy it from him because it's valuable. One day, I'll find someone who has a
God.
diesel truck that will buy it.
So they have an answer for everything.
Yeah,
Of course
and
they do. Sure.
He took me to the dumpster and he brought a pepperoni rack home. The thing you see in the supermarket you hang pepperonis on? It's a pepperoni rack. I said, what the fuck are you going to do with that?
Hang pepperoni.
Well, who the hell has pepperoni to hang?
Does your
He got
brother have a
boxes and
job?
boxes of-
Does he have a
He has
job?
boxes of fucking phone books up in the attic from 1970 from Las Vegas, and we live in Pennsylvania. I said, what do you need these for? Well, I went out to Las Vegas once, and I did a business transaction with this guy, and if he ever says we didn't have this business, I got the phone book to prove it. It's in the phone book. It's a nightmare, Jay. I don't know
Oh,
what
it's
the hell to
awful.
do.
Ace, I want to tell you, I mean, I believe you, and when you read the book Stuff, but I don't know how you're going to do it, but and thank God for Obama's health care because you're going to need it, okay? You're going to need it.
Yeah.
You're going to need that. Your brother is completely hoard nuts, okay?
Oh.
He's
I mean,
nuts.
like, half the time to go into shit he has, like boxes and boxes of food. Now you look at the expiration date, it was like 1980. And he still keeps the shit. He has shirts from when he was like 5 years old. I said, what's this here? Oh, it's the shirt I wore when I was in 5th grade. I got my class picture in that. I said, well, get the fuck rid of it. And see, I let my mom stay there. And every time I tried to move the shit out, oh, don't upset him. And she starts putzing. So I'm the asshole in the middle that owns the house, pays the bills, but this dickwad has my whole fucking attic, second floor, my garage, and half the basement filled with his shit. And I can't get it the fuck out without a thing going on. And, oh, you're going to go to jail. You throw that box of egg cartons out.
All right, now listen.
What do you collect?
Is your brother there now?
No, my brother, he's not with me. I'm a truck driver. I'm on the road, and almost every night I think of this shit, and I grind my teeth. I mean, it sounds funny, but everybody that comes to my garage...
No, it's horrible. No, and you know what?
Look,
all kidding aside...
I got a classic 1971 Mustang in my garage. There's so much shit on top of it that he caved the roof in, and half the people that know me say, there ain't no car in here. I say, go move 3 or 4 of those boxes. You'll see my Mustang under there. People have known me for 20 years, so there ain't no car in there. I said, God damn it, there ain't, go look. And they move 3 or 4 boxes,
so
and they can see my car under there.
Let me answer your question. Yes, your brother is a hoarder, okay?
You think?
And he needs psychological help. Start with the book stuff. Try and get him to read it, and he needs to go and get help. I don't know what else to tell you, and your mother's going to have to sign on with it because it's ruining your life.
Is he gay?
No, he's not gay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he has a girlfriend. He lives upstate New York, and they have 3 storage bins full of shit up where they live.
You need to buy, you need to rent a big truck, and you get all of his crap, and you put it in the truck, and you deliver it to him upstate New York. That's the first thing
I was thinking about. I was thinking about doing that, but he won't give me the address. And he said, oh, it's such a small yard, you couldn't get the thing in their yard.
Well, you know what? He's going to freak out, but you're going to clean it all out. Yeah, you also need to get a restraining order against him from coming near you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like what he's done is he's ruined your life. It's almost like he's attacking you physically, but it's mental, and you can get a restraining order against him, and he's got to stop it. I mean, it's going to be rough, but it's got to be done.
I think he wants to use that chicken fat for something else.
Yeah, unless you can find a use for it.
No, he says that they're going to make diesel fuel out of chicken fat.
I think he wants to rape you with it.
Yeah, don't.
And
all right, Ace.
30 gallons of chicken fat in my backyard.
It's not sexual.
After you make a choice or something happens,
I think
please
it's
call
sexual.
us back.
I really think
right.
it's sexual.
Stay where you are. We'll continue talking with Kevin Meaney on the Jay Thomas Show.
Society's oddities played like a fiddle. The Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139, and on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
Jimmy Mack, you're in Boston, and now you're on the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney. Hello, Jimmy Mack.
What's up, Jay? It's Jimmy Mack the bookie.
Jimmy Mack the bookie, man. How are you? Boy, I went to the casino the other night, and I was playing, Texas Hold'em, and I was getting every card, but I'd get ace, king, queen, jack, 3,
Yeah.
I got killed.
Well, the Red Sox
I would get a pair of deuces.
Making me some money now because they're losing their ass, so that's good for me.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. In these economic times, we haven't heard from you in a while. Does the betting go down when the economy
Absolutely, Jay. My business is down. I called you last football season. My business is down about 75 to 80% right now. Things are fucking horrible.
So what do you do to pick up business? Do you go into, killing people or anything like that?
Kevin, I've seen you at the Stitches a million times. Paradise. No, you can't do. You can't advertise because it's not legal. So
right.
you have to do other things to. Keep my business going.
So what other things do you do?
Well, I have an over/under on a lottery I came up with. Is 36 possible numbers, 0 through 9, and I put an over/under of 18 out every night. You can either bet the over or the under. So I get some real sickies doing that.
Wait a minute. Go back to that. The lottery, which I buy,
that's
legal.
You
do an over/under on what the number will be every night?
Exactly. Say the number is 7512. That comes out to 14. You do over-unders 18 because there's 36 possible. The highest you can go is 36, 0 through 9, 4 times. So people bet under or over the total number. I started that one about a year and a half ago when I had done a couple extra bong hits.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's been pretty good because I get a lot of old men who just love to call up and say, just give me the over for 100 or 200.
You're like that guy in Casino, you know?
I'm
De Niro
trying
in
my
Casino.
best, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, I'm trying, but I wanted to call about this hoarding situation. I'm getting rid of my wife because she's a fucking hoarder. I can't take it anymore.
She's a whore?
Well, yeah, that's besides it. I got other issues. No, she's a hoarder.
A hoarder. I'm sorry, I had an infection.
That's all right. She collects phone books like that other guy was saying, and she's got the ketchup packets from McDonald's and the fucking soy sauce from the chink places everywhere. And
how many ketchup packets do you think she might have?
Well, I just throw them out every day. She goes to work. I go through and throw everything out, and then she goes crazy. Yeah, she takes 30. There's probably 30 or 40 of them in the cupboards.
Yeah,
and she has stuffed animals from when she was a kid. She has her old leather jacket from high school. She said this is when she got in a bike accident. It has blood on it. She doesn't want to throw it away.
She kind of like blood.
Jackie Kennedy, you know, with the blood-stained...
Yeah, she has a bloody bike jacket that she got in a wreck with. So what is the... you're getting divorced. Have you asked her to get help or anything? Have you...
I did. You know what the final straw was over the last summer when... every Thursday the trash comes, so I throw out everything. I love the trash day. I throw out all my stuff.
Right.
I found some of the shit back in the garage that I had thrown out, and I said, you know what it feels like when you're about to blow your load, how great it is? I go, that's how I feel about throwing away the trash. I go, and you just took that away from me. I said, I can't even throw anything out now in my own house. I find it back in my house. I said, something's wrong with you. You need help. She goes, do you think I need help? You need help. I don't need any help. You should go get help. I go, I definitely know I need help, but I'm just trying
well,
to...
Well, you're a bookie. Does she ever say to you, did she ever use you being a bookie
I'm going
against
to the
you?
cops.
Yeah. Do you ever do that?
You know...
You throw that ketchup out, I'm going to the fucking cops, you fucking asshole. Fucking jackass.
You are so funny, man. She lives pretty comfortable, so she doesn't... I think she wouldn't do that to our kids because she knows where most of the money comes from, so...
Oh, and you have kids.
What she'd be doing is paying
how many kids do you have?
How many
kids? I have two 10-year-olds, Jay.
Oh, my God.
Now that's Kevin who's asking you the questions, too. Now, Jimmy Mack, here's the thing. When
I'm the main
get divorced, when you get divorced and you don't show the money that you make to the government, what happens when you both get attorneys and they start going, well, you're going to owe child support and the whole thing when there's no way you can really say what you make?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You seem to be very familiar with this, but what's going on is I told her if she wants to go down that road, then she's going to be paying me every week because she has a regular job at a normal company. She's been there for 25 years.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to keep paying everything, and she's going to not say anything to anybody about my business. I also have a front that, just as a business front that...
You're really smart. You seem really smart about this business, especially coming on the radio and talking about it, too.
Kevin, I've talked to Jay a million times. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it. Before we go to break, what's your front, Jimmy Mack?
What's your front?
I put things on people's lawns, like when they have a baby, like a birth announcement for the neighborhood. It's actually a legitimate business, but I've been too busy with the other one that I stopped doing.
So with Madison in her front lawn in New Jersey, what would you put? Like it's a girl thing?
Yeah, exactly. A big pink.
Did you write that?
Yeah.
A big pink or blue stork with a birth announcement on it with my phone number. People were calling me. The business was so busy, I didn't even have time to do it, so I sold it to a buddy of mine, and just, I was doing really well with the bookmaking for like 15 years, and now things are drying up a little bit, but I'm getting rid of her all because she's a shit collector, Jay, and that's my point. I can't take it anymore.
Does she collect her own feces?
Stay where we'll be back with Joe Mack, the bookie, who's married to
somebody just said that they.
I know. You can't stop talking about that.
The shit collector, and he also makes baby announcements. Stay where you are.
Jay Thomas. The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139, and on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
Well, the old Jay Thomas Show just continues down the old. This is kind of like down the old road music. What's this, Garrett? Down the old
Stone
road.
Temple Pilots.
Yeah. Going down the old road music. Kevin Meaney is with us, 888-410-212. The lovely Christina Palumbo answers the phones at 888-410-212. Garrett Andrews is at the controls of the giant spaceship that we are driving today from outer space on Sirius XM. And this is not a hoarding story, but Garrett had known about this Winchester house, which is the house built by the man that, of course, the gun magnate, William Winchester. And her daughter died and the husband died, and so a psychic told her to keep building the house. And the construction continued around the clock without interruption for 38 years, right, Garrett?
Yep.
How many staircases to nowhere in that house?
At least 7.
They go nowhere. They go no place. Unbelievable. That's not a hoarder. That's a constructor hoarder. Constructor hoarder. If you hate, especially kids that have their pants around their around their butts, right? We have a state senator from New York that's trying to make that illegal, Kevin. He was motivated, by the way, by hearing a story of a guy escaping from a robbery or something. His pants that were so loose fell around his ankles. He tripped and fell to his death. And the state senator from New York, Eric Adams, will be on to talk about that. I find this hard to believe.
He's trying to save the young robbers?
No, it's a way of saying that it can kill you and it's a bad thing, but he wants to stop it anyway. But that's what brought him to the idea. Okay, that's what I read.
Well, but good comes out of everything. That's what I think he's trying to say.
All right. Believe it or not, it says here, this is my cousin, Vicky. Vicky, is that really you, Vicky?
Yes, it is. I'm calling
Okay, now
from
don't be
Mandeville.
telling any sick. This is really my cousin, Vicky.
Jay, why don't you, just to make sure that she's your cousin, Vicky, can you say something that only Jay would know?
Yes,
Okay.
I can.
What?
Go ahead.
I can tell Jay and all of his listeners that his mother was always the funniest person in the family.
That's exactly right. My mother, Kathy.
All right.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
When
God.
we would go to church years ago, I was just a little kid, and she would talk about Father, and I don't want to say his name, who would look down her cleavage when we went to communion. She was hysterical. And she had beautiful hair, but always wore a stunning black wig.
That's exactly right. Well, Vicky, you are my cousin. Now, where are you now? Are you across the lake, or where are you, Vicky?
I'm in Mandeville. I saw you.
Vicky, can I ask you one more question, please?
Yes.
Were you ever sexually molested by Jay?
No, I wasn't. I always wanted to be, though.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
my
Very
God.
good.
All right. You know what?
All right, no, I had to ask that question.
I want you to
I did.
stop it.
I
want you to stop it now.
You go right ahead, Vicky. You sound like a
Vicky,
very, very nice person.
Vicky, I've told everybody in the family that whatever I say on the radio here is all an act. You realize that?
Oh, of course. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. And the kids are good, and the husband's good, and everybody's good. And how is your grandmother holding up?
You mean
your
mother,
mother.
Lula?
How's your mother holding up? Yeah.
My mother's doing great. She visits my sister Gina and my sister Christy in Charlotte and in Indiana. She's just went on her first girls trip ever. She's 71 years old.
And we
Is
miss
she a
we
lesbian,
miss her
What is that
dad
about?
very much. We miss Lenny very much.
Oh, and it was you were saying on talking about Facebook yesterday because I finally got your station. It was a gift from my husband for my birthday. Put it in my car. Well, you were saying that
Sounds like a great guy.
he is.
No,
I
really
mean,
does.
not just for Jay, but Exit Radio.
Guess what I got you for anniversary, honey? Here, listen to your cousin Jay. Never he touched you?
Can you stop it, please?
I'm sorry.
You were saying that you don't care about people, and I was thinking, well, he sure was at my dad's funeral, and he was sure at Uncle Gary's funeral, and
Well, no, I love my
appreciated all
relatives,
of
but
that.
I don't want to see a picture of your dog and your cat and all of that stuff. That's
You don't want to know that I went to the grocery store an hour ago?
No, I don't want to hear that you cut the grass and that your petunias are blooming and the whole thing. So you've listened 2 days in a row to your cousin John for 2 days. How do you like the show?
Yes, I do. I love the show, but
What do you
used
think
to
about,
listen to Howard Stern.
What's that?
I used to listen to Howard Stern, and I would hear all my friends talk so negatively about him, and I always thought he was hysterical.
Now, what do you think
he's
about?
still on. He's
what
still
do you
here.
think about yesterday's show when Jay didn't have a co-host?
Well, since it was the first time, I didn't really know difference.
It was. What about today, though? Is it a much better show today?
Well, of course it is.
Of course it is.
Since
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what I'm
sure. Well,
supposed
as soon
to
as she
say.
calls up and a guy says, "Were you sexually abused by your cousin?" That's always a great show. That's always a great show.
Well, you've got. Might as well. I mean, if Oprah was on, I would ask her the same thing. So,
Well,
Oprah, were you
Hey,
abused
Vicky.
by Jay? So.
Vicky, can we meet for lunch? I'm going to be in New Orleans next week. Can we meet for lunch next Thursday?
Why don't you meet at Mr. B's?
At Coffee Ranny over there in Mandeville?
Yeah, of course we can. Not
Okay.
coming to Jazz Fest then, huh?
No, I'm not coming to Jazz Fest, but I'm working next May 5th. I'm going to be at the Sheraton next May 5th or whenever that is.
Okay.
Wednesday. All right.
All right. Well,
All right. I'm glad you
when
have it.
When
I'm
you
glad
get
you-
me off for this, can I give you, is there someone to give my phone number to when I'm,
You're going to get her off? What was this going on?
I mean, when you hang up, when I'm not.
hang up. I'm sorry. You said,
I have,
get
hold it.
off.
Believe it or not, I have your
Yeah.
phone number.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay.
people don't realize is not. I have your phone number right in front of me,
Okay, good.
and we have a picture of what you're doing at this very moment. Also, you can
no,
see
you don't.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm,
yeah, I do.
Okay, what am I
see you.
doing? Tell me.
You're completely naked and you're in the living room.
Talking
No, I'm sitting in my freaking car because I don't have it in my living room.
Vicky,
Oh,
what
that's
did you
right.
do with your placenta after your children were born?
I don't know. I think they just got rid of it in the normal way.
Well, Jay used his placenta to plant some plantings.
planted a tree. I said
Did
that
he
was a
bury it in the
California.
yard?
You know what it would
That's an
probably
old
be
Southern
good
myth.
for, Vicky?
No one
I
really
bet you
does that.
if you put the placenta, you could probably fish with it and catch some fabulous fish. Don't you think?
You know, Cape Paul, they have a beautiful recipe down there. He's got- yeah, Paul Prudhomme.
Vicky, I'll call you after I'm off the air.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck. Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye, Vic.
Bye.
Don't ask my cousin that.
Ask her what?
Did I abuse her? Stop that. What an idiot.
Good question to ask.
Boy, you know what? I can't wait to meet your little girl. I'm going to fucking fix you good. I am going to fix your ass good.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about.
You're
I'm going to
sick.
meet her. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go to that stupid Christmas thing in Terrytown, wherever
Yeah.
you do there.
Right.
And I'm going to go, oh, is this your lovely little daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. How is it
We
when
know,
your
like, there's
daddy
always
and
two-
his boyfriend are banging away in the bed? Don't ever say that to anybody's cousin. Are you nuts? That's my family, you idiot.
Oh, that's funny.
You are just, you know what? It's
Yeah,
not
you
what
know,
it's
the
for.
reason why you're upset is because probably you did molest her.
You're an idiot.
That's why you're upset. If you weren't, the only reason why you're upset is because something happened.
No, nothing happened.
Yeah, something happened.
I
With one
wasn't
of
even
your
around that much.
Yeah.
I wasn't around. I was already, on the road to fame back
Yeah.
then.
Well, there was
Okay?
something gay happened then.
What gay? It's a woman. And you want to hear the truth?
Yeah.
She's my second cousin. So if anything had happened,
it would have been
so
fine.
what?
But she
Would have
wanted
been fine.
you. She wanted you to.
I heard
touch
that.
her.
That was very creepy.
That
All
was
it was
sick.
creepy.
That was sick.
By the way, many times when you're on the radio like I am, people call up and they begin to share a lot of their life with you. And you actually become friends with them. They join the inner circle, and you find things out about them, and the good with the bad. Earl of Ohio, who works at a golf course, had quadruple bypass, and I said to him, Earl, we're going to give you a call after 10 days. Garrett has something on your iPhone or your BlackBerry that beeps when we want to call a listener back who's been through major surgery. Is that it, Garrett?
Correct. Yeah, I have an app for that.
And Earl, welcome back to the show. How did the quadruple bypass go?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Sound fun.
Sounds fantastic.
Sound unbelievable.
Can you hear? You can hear me all right? Good.
10
I do
days
have an
ago.
infection, but I can hear.
10 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a
did.
heart attack and then they cut you open? How did it go?
Yeah. Well, actually, they said I probably had a heart attack at one time, but it didn't drop me to my knees, you know. And I don't remember what happened. But anyhow, when they got in there and did the stuff, they only actually did 2.
Oh, good for you. So
because the other 2 were so bad
Oh.
that they didn't attempt it. And then the blood vessels they took out of my legs, they took like 18 inches out to get about 16 inches of good stuff out of both legs.
Now, they say that hurts more than the surgery.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually fighting an infection in one leg. I went to the
What
doctor
about your
yesterday.
groin? Oh, don't they take it out of your groin?
Well, no.
No? Oh, God. I guess I'm sorry.
One of them's down by the shin, the other's up by near my groin.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyhow. And, you know, I was thinking, you don't have to get my kid no sweatshirt now because I live, so, you know, but...
we said if you were, did I say that if you died, we'd send your kid a T-shirt or something?
Yeah, but, you know.
That was nice.
You know what? I forgot the horrible thing that I said to you.
Yeah.
Now, Earl, here's my question. After you have this surgery, can you feel the blood moving more smoothly through your body? I mean, has it changed your life?
You know what? I look better, people say, and I can feel that I'm getting better.
You probably have more color.
But it takes a little time, you know. I mean, they crack your sternum open from north to south. That's really painful.
Have you had a cigarette yet?
Well, unfortunately, after about 10 days, I was home here, and I did, and then felt really shitty about it.
Was it good?
Yeah, well, I must admit, you know, smoker, it tasted great. I had a couple cigarettes, and then...
Earl,
I haven't
you're
fixed
talking
it.
about dying, okay?
I know. I know, but this is a lesson for young people to understand about how this tobacco is something really tough.
Yeah.
But now he got to restart. He got everything cleaned out. He can start all over again with smoking.
I know.
So you can start
and
killing
I will
himself again, is what
always
you're
be
saying.
fighting.
That's right.
For,
you know what,
For the last
Kevin?
3 days,
Yeah.
I've been fighting the urge for a cigarette.
Good for you.
So bad.
What
that-
about pot? Have you smoked pot yet?
No, I don't do too much reefer after.
You should smoke pot instead
You know
of
what?
cigarettes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know?
Get the pot going. That's much better.
Have a little joint here or there,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, you know what? They got me on, I do OxyContin for pain.
Yeah.
And I can see how that shit will really mess you up.
Yeah, you should call Rush Limbaugh up.
Now,
I'm
is
gonna tell you
OxyContin a
what.
good drug, or is it a drug that just makes you completely a blithering idiot?
Well, it's weird. One day it'll work on you and it'll work the pain. The next day I'll do it and it won't be in my system 5 minutes and I'll fall right to sleep. It's like nodding off on heroin.
Yeah.
Well,
And when I
Earl,
was
you
a
seem to
kid-
know a lot about heroin and a lot about drugs and stuff, and now I know why your heart's crashed on you. I'm glad you're still alive, and I didn't have to send your daughter the sweatshirt if you died. And so we'll check back in with you in another couple of weeks because I believe I also tried to heal your your arteries, and I wasn't able to heal them, and I apologize. So two are so bad that they couldn't fix them, but 2 are new. So you're on your way to some sort of recovery now.
So what are they going to do with the 2 that aren't good?
Well, those were, the vessels that came out of my legs, they were so clogged, they're in a trash bucket somewhere, so.
Your leg vessels were clogged.
Have you stopped eating butter?
Oh, yeah, man. That's the other thing. The food that I ate. But what I'm trying to eat now, good things, it's amazing how much better I feel by, eating good, healthy food. Right. And you don't have to eat as much of it. I don't know. I want to get into all that lecture and bullshit.
Well, we'll talk to you more when you get back, because you're going to be back on that lawnmower pretty soon.
Yeah.
How about that KFC?
We got to move on. We got to move on. Thank you, Earl, very much. Thank you. Let's welcome. Okay, we'll call you back. We'll call you back.
Keep up the good work. You keep me laughing now.
Thank
I love
you.
you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Love you too. God, I saved a sweatshirt. Thank God. Yeah. Senator Eric Adams of New York State. Welcome, sir, to the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney. How are you?
Quite well. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? Listen, now you're, Kevin, State Senator Adams handles Flatbush, Crown Heights, Park Slope, Windsor Terrace, and Prospect Heights. And what is it you're trying to pass here? We all think that the pants around the butt are ridiculous.
I don't. I think they're fine. So
you think it's okay? Yeah. Okay, I think it's ridiculous, but I don't see that.
That's your fashion.
Yeah, it's a fashion statement. I guess, Senator Adams, I don't understand. How are you going to try and get a state law passed that would get into the what people wear?
No, actually, just for a point of clarification, to the contrary, I'm not looking to pass a law. And although many people have asked me to introduce legislation, I stated I don't want to criminalize young people for doing young people behavior, so I refuse to do a law that will make it a crime to...
I'm 54 and I wear my pants around my knees. That's my right.
Right, exactly, and you're right. It is your right. That's what's great about this country. You
Sometimes
do have
my penis or ass will fall out, but I'll have to put it back in. That's a crime. I realize.
He's a sick individual, Senator. I want to say that first of all. But did I not read that you had read about a guy who was escaping a robbery or something and tripped on his pants and died, and you were driven to try and stop the SAG, as it were?
No, actually, the New York Times was one of the reporters, Clive Haberman, when he heard about the campaign that I was doing, he showed an article that he had where a person was shooting someone and was attempting to flee, and in the process he fell and actually died from, basically couldn't get away, and he tripped over his pants.
And you have paid for these billboards that say "Stop the SAG," and it shows, I guess, a couple of guys in jeans low enough to display their underwear, and then the quote is, "If we raise our pants, we raise our image, and don't surrender control over your own image." That's really great and all, but it'd be like me telling my kids. I mean, one of my kids wears his pants down like that, and the other one doesn't.
It's almost kids, Jay?
What's that?
Are your kids black?
No, my kids are white.
Oh, okay.
And it's not a black and white thing, but I guess Senator, would you say it's more in the black community than the white community?
No, well, with anything that gives birth in one area and it spreads out throughout the entire country and really the globe. Yeah. I receive calls from Tokyo, from
Tokyo Rose.
Tokyo, Japan.
Tokyo, Japan. I'm sorry.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Russia, all over the globe was looking at this issue, and I think the campaign that I'm doing is really not targeting young people as much as it is targeting adults. Because when we were young, we've always did things that really pushed the envelope or went over the line. But the responsibilities of adults in society is to tell young people when they've gone too far. And when my daughter or someone's mother or sister has to witness someone's behind in front of them on the public transportation, it's inappropriate.
Especially if it's not wiped properly.
Yeah,
that's,
exactly.
You have to.
Now, so you have done this also because you're in the subway or you're in a bus or something, and these underwear are staring you right in the face, and it's inappropriate, right?
Right. And what we're doing, the theme of our campaign is we are better than this. So this is just one visualization of how things are taking place in the inner city and in our country that is really bringing us down as a nation. Gang violence, all sorts of violence among young people, the use of drugs and gun violence. It's just stating that our young people are better than how they've been depicted in some of the standards that we've allowed to exist in our community. Absence of expectations, people will sometimes go to the lower expectations.
Senator, did you jump on this bandwagon soon after the song Pants on the Ground from American Idol?
No, for the last 5 years, even when I was a captain in the police department, I did about 22 graduations a year.
Are you familiar with Pants on the Ground?
Yes, I am.
Can you sing any of that for us right now?
No, I'm a senator, not a singer.
Like a fool with the pants on the ground.
Yeah, now you see what he's saying is, hold on.
Sideways.
Hold on 1 second. So, Senator, when you see it glorified in the movies and on American Idol and everything else, it makes your, stop the SAG thing even harder to do, doesn't it?
No, I don't think it does. I think from the response I received from young people and adults, that it appears as though the billboards and the notoriety that came from the billboards, people have actually started to say something is wrong. You're right here. Something is wrong. That we have been watching this every day, and our psyches have permitted it to become the norm. And that's what we have to be very careful about, because the human being has the amazing ability to adapt to things even when they're bad. And I'm saying we cannot adapt to this.
Stop the SAG, Senator Eric Adams, state senator from New York, the New York Senate. Before I go, you know what? I hate when my pants are sagging and I have to pull them up. Why doesn't it feel uncomfortable?
And I think that's an important question.
Doesn't it feel uncomfortable to you when your pants?
I'm sure both you guys probably remember the whole tight pants syndrome.
I hated tight pants,
Everybody was wearing tight pants.
Yeah,
and my mother would say, "You get those tight pants off. You get upstairs right now and put your big pants on. Who needs to be looking at that package with your tight pants? What about if you fall into a pool? They'll scrunch up on you and you'll lose all your blood."
I think that you raised in a very amusing way. You raised a very big issue.
Yeah.
That the discomfort of walking that way, and
God, yeah.
And can you imagine some of the structural problems one would have when you're walking?
Yeah.
Human beings are not built to walk like ducks. If you walk like ducks all your life, you will grow up with those deformities.
Exactly.
I think that all young men that wear the saggy pants, the saggy pants, should have to wear a jock strap or something.
So they'll see the buttocks.
So so your genitals will be covered completely.
I see. Senator Eric Adams, I don't know if we helped or not.
That's what I propose.
But we believe in Stop the SAG, and you'll see the billboards around, and the Stop the SAG campaign is to keep people from having their pants sagged down like that, because it is
looking like a fool with the pants
ridiculous.
on the ground.
Thank you, Senator, very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Senator.
My God, the man is an elected official. You can't even give respect to an elected official.
What did I gave him plenty of respect.
Well, I not know you.
What did I say?
It was embarrassing.
Oh, please.
He's
not a real senator.
He is.
No, he's not.
He's a state senator in New York.
How many state senators are there? Like 100 of them.
I don't know how many there are.
Not a congressman.
Brad of Illinois. I have a person on trying to change the way, things that we don't like are happening out there with the kids. And, of course, nothing but,
Yeah, there's a lot of other important things to be taken care of than baggy pants.
You can raise your level of respect if you raise your pants. That's what he says.
The thing is, if you have a politician telling you to do it, you're just going to do it more.
Yeah, I am going out of here today with my pants around my ankles and my ball sack flying back and forth.
What kid's going to be like, oh, Senator?
Gee, I'm glad my cousin got her radio yesterday. I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
Hey, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hope my grandmother gets a radio tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's go, Brad. Hello, Brad of Illinois. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't really care for that saggy pants either, but who's paying for these billboards?
He is. The senator paid for him himself.
Oh, he
Paying
did?
for it himself.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Where did he get that money?
Oh, what you were going to call up and go? Oh, he's paying. He's having the state pay for it. No, he bought them himself. He spent thousands of dollars.
Well, okay, that's fine. As long as it's not taxpayer money.
No,
I mean,
taxpayer
I don't live
money.
in New York, so it don't matter.
Are you one of those teabaggers? Hello.
Yeah,
Brad?
I am one of those teabaggers. What do you think about that?
Brad, are you a teabagger?
I can't. I'm losing you. I can't hear you.
Are you a teabagger?
I still can't hear you.
Yeah.
Apparently, he can't hear the truth.
You ever put your balls on another man's
No,
face?
he hasn't.
You ever done that? Take your
I
ball
heard that,
sack?
Kevin. I know you have, Kevin.
Oh, he heard that. He didn't hear teabagger, but he heard balls in his face. All right. Hey, Brad of Illinois, thank you. Let's go to Dave of the great state of Washington. Yes, Dave, how are you? Yes, sir.
Hey, I wanted to congratulate Kevin on a rumor that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he was understudying for the Addams Family, understudying Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, no, it's not true. I was going to get excited.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Did you
if it
try
was
out
right-
for it?
No, I didn't.
I started the rumor.
Yeah.
Oh, you started the rumor, Dave. Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
I'm just trying to get rid of Kevin.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dave. You're
Broadway,
so nice.
baby. You didn't hurt me. You didn't hurt me.
Now, how come you weren't up for the understudy? All kidding aside.
I actually went in and I read for Fester, and I looked nothing like Fester.
Well, no, they'd shave your head and everything.
I know, but this other guy got it, and he looks just like him. He's a great actor, and he's
Right.
perfect,
But the understudy would be good for Nathan Lane.
I would love to do that, yeah.
Well, why don't you go in for that?
Well, you just don't go in for that. You have to be, called and seen.
Can't your agent, do it?
If something comes up, I
All
will
right.
go in and...
Oh, you know what? When it gets a little personal, you don't like it, do you?
Yes, I can. Suddenly.
You don't like it?
Yes, I can.
When I opened the newspaper here in California, not 3 blocks from where I live, Randy Quaid and his wife, Evie,
They
EVI,
are out of their fucking minds.
handcuffed.
Yeah.
And she was in silver handcuffs, and he was in pink handcuffs. They put him in jail yesterday because they keep skipping out on their court appearance, and they owe, allegedly, $10,000 to some upscale hotel.
What is wrong with them? I mean, they're completely insane.
Well, their bail was $100,000, which means they had to pay at least $10,000
Yeah.
to get the bail bondsman to cover their bail, but they still won't pay the hotel. So they got $10,000 yesterday, and it's the weirdest thing. And then they brought with them his Golden Globe from 1988, and they would show the Golden Globe, and the wife would take pictures and stuff. And when the judge got mad at him, he said, "Oh, my wife's a performance artist," and so that's how he explained that away. I mean, they must be completely nuts.
Well, they
handcuffed.
They had this whole. They did this whole play that a friend of mine was in, and they ruined the whole music. It was a musical that investors put so much money into it, and they came in. Randy and Evie both came in and ruined it. Literally, just took it and just ruined it.
Well, they're nuts.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Completely nuts. And they have to keep coming back here to go to court. And I'm wondering we keep wondering what hotel do they stay at?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want them there. A judge in New York has dismissed an appeal from a chef who said that Jerry Seinfeld's wife stole her cookbook concept, insisting that the author didn't require much cooking expertise. Chef Missy Chase Lapine sued Jessica Seinfeld, claiming that her cookbook, or Seinfeld's cookbook, Deceptively Delicious, had been brazenly plagiarized from her own tome, The Sneaky Chef. Both books contain ideas for pureeing vegetables and hiding them in your children's food. The judge said, "You mean you make purees and you put them in the recipe? That's it? I don't think one needs much cooking expertise to know this." And threw the thing out yesterday. Now, didn't he steal the wife from somebody? Didn't he steal the wife from Niederlander?
Yeah,
that's the craziest story I've ever heard. She was on her honeymoon, came back, and apparently, right out, listen, after you get married, I mean, it's bliss.
After you get married, the honeymoon is over.
I guess. They'd been married a few weeks. The guy was immensely wealthy.
Yeah.
She comes back and she sees Jerry Seinfeld at the gym, falls in love with him, and dumps her husband.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's something not right about that. Doesn't seem to have hurt him any, though, does it?
You get so angry at these relationships, Jay, that just seem to happen. Like, for instance, with Robin Williams, him marrying Marcia.
Oh, God.
You were like, and then he got the nanny.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
I can't take it,
It's rude, that's why. It's rude. It's rude.
Yeah, how about
I've had nannies. You don't screw your nanny. You don't do it.
Well, maybe Jerry fell in love with, this girl, Jessica, whatever her name is.
I'll tell you something right now.
name?
There's
Jessica?
bad karma written all over that relationship.
Well, they have children now, and everything seems to be
I don't care. I'll never forgive them.
You'll never forgive them?
No, never forgive them.
What about the Prince? What about Prince? Didn't they have the Prince?
What Prince?
I think maybe one of the the English.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What are you mumbling about? You sound like a blithering idiot.
I don't know. Take a blue ball.
But Jay had the same feeling about Robert Schimmel and his relationship, and he
Oh
turned
my
out to be
God!
right.
Oh,
he married his daughter's friend.
Oh yeah.
And he got cancer and the whole thing. But I saw them in the elevator. This is a couple of years ago, and it was miserable. They looked miserable. And I came to work and I said, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just wrong, but he's in real trouble with her now.
Why is that?
2 kids.
Yeah.
He's bankrupt, I guess, right, Garrett? Basically going broke.
Why is he bankrupt?
Lost the house. I don't know. And she started, allegedly, he's accusing her of allegedly sleeping with the next door neighbor, and he claims that he came in and
they
the guy
were
was in
doing
the bathroom and the whole oh God. And it's miserable. He's going to live back with his mother now.
Well, he's the best storyteller, Robert Schimmel. He really is.
Tell some good ones.
Right when he was done with our show on Friday, he got a call from his 5-year-old son saying, "It's 8:30 and Mommy hasn't woken up yet." And they were supposed to be at school already.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he's like telling his kid to go in and knock on the door and.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, he lost.
Why
his
would he have to have
teeth?
kids with it?
He lost what?
He was at a comedy show and he took out his fake because he had chemo. He had fake teeth. He put them on the table and went to go to the bathroom, and one of the waitresses swept them into the bin and threw them out. 10 minutes before a show.
Oh, and he went.
Wait a second. Wait a second. He has false teeth because of the chemo.
Oh.
Yes.
He took his teeth out, and the waitress threw them away. How did he do the show?
Without his teeth?
I guess. Yeah. I just
never
heard that
take
part
your
of the
teeth out.
story.
He did a show like that?
Never take your teeth out. Oh, that's too bad.
Well, you know what? That's a guy that, and then, by the way, after he left his wife for his daughter's friend, his wife took care of him when he had cancer because the young girl that he was in love with couldn't handle, wasn't mature enough to take care of him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all bad.
And she offered part of her liver to him. The ex-wife.
The wife did.
The ex-wife, yeah. But they won't let him because they don't want both parents to die if there has something happen.
Alicia Silverstone, who you know from the movie Clueless, has been wearing a pregnancy suit as part of her role in the hit Broadway play Time Stands Still. Have you seen that play? Is it still running?
No, I haven't seen that.
She is 33 years old, and while I was wearing the pregnancy suit, I loved the feeling of pretending to be pregnant and having little arms and legs and this big belly that I've decided that I want to be a mom. She decided she wanted to be a mother because she's wearing a prop on her stomach. What an idiot! What idiots!
You're so angry.
I'm not angry. It's just stupidity.
I like it when you talk about your children and you say, no, you're not gonna go to a football camp, okay? You're never gonna be a football star.
They're not.
You're never gonna be a baseball star.
They weren't.
You're never gonna do anything, okay? You're gonna
7
be
o'clock Sunday morning, I'm not driving a loser to a camp.
You are an average child. Just
That's
remember
right.
that, okay?
That's exactly right.
No. Yeah, I want to go to football camp. You're not going to football camp.
No,
you think I'm going to spend
wanted
money on you on a football camp? Look at you.
No, it's not the money. It's the driving.
Look at you. Look at your legs. Tiny sprig legs.
You know what people said to me? Aren't your boys going to be on travel soccer? I go, no, they're not. My boys aren't from Europe, and that's who plays soccer. And if you'll notice, at about 13, no one plays soccer anymore. Have you noticed? Of course not.
Dear boys,
when the ball was kicked at my youngest son, when we used to go at 7 in the morning to watch him play soccer, he would put both of his arms over his head and duck when the soccer ball came at him. Trust me, he wasn't going to be a soccer player. He was on a baseball team, and there was a little girl on the team, and she used to bully him by spitting the shells from sunflower seeds at him.
Are your kids gay?
No, but the girl on the team, who was the great third baseman, bullied my son.
Is she a lesbian now?
No, who knows what she is. The coach took him to the house and gave him special batting and a batting cage, and he said, you got to send him to the camp. And I said, you know what? Not sending him to the camp.
Probably saw the coach naked.
Amy Winehouse is back in the hospital after suffering a fresh agony caused by her new boobs. She drunkenly fell right after she'd had surgery for her new breasts, and one of them popped out. The 26-year-old diva, just a couple of weeks ago, had the 32D implants, and she landed flat on her face, cut her forehead, and cut one of her boobs, and was diagnosed with a broken rib, and had to have the boob pushed back in, and had to have her tit realigned. I mean, you know what? She's not going to be happy until she's dead. Okay? I mean, that's her whole thing, I guess.
Yeah.
She's dying.
Did you hear about the Matador in Spain that was gored right through the groin?
No.
Oh, that was.
Did he die?
Right, Garrett?
Yeah,
Did he die?
Lost 7 pints of blood, gored right through the groin.
Now that's a big penis.
Okay, and then he's still. I don't know if he's dead yet, but
He's dead.
No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
7.
Well, how do you think the bull feels when they stab it with a sword in its spinal cord? How do you think that feels? So sometimes the bull has to win. Thank God.
Yeah.
Friggin' Spanish bullfighter. I hope they all get gored in the balls. How's that?
Wow.
Print that.
Yeah.
They're going to make Spider-Man a Broadway musical.
Yeah.
It's been developing for years.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Spider-Man.
It won't be a cheesy musical, okay? Okay? It's an elaborate arena production aimed at kids and families. Really?
Christopher Reeve was actually going to come back and do a Superman musical.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. And it was going to be all done, like just with wires. He was going to be flying around the stage.
The people that have made the popular Walking with Dinosaurs stage show are making the Batman Broadway musical. You know what Robin said?
What?
Fabulous.
Oh, that is so childish.
Fabulous.
Why is Robin always gay? Robin's not gay.
Sure he is. Britney Spears has had to reduce the price of her Beverly Hills home in a desperate bid to sell it. She bought it for $8 million 2 years ago.
Whose house was it before Britney?
I don't know, but she's got it down to $5 million, and they're thinking it's going to have to go. Listen to this. It's going to maybe go as low as $4 million. She's going to lose half of it. And many people feel as though it was never worth the $8 million she paid for it. Now, why are these people selling everything? You know, Nicolas Cage has lost all of his homes.
Oh, all of his homes.
And Britney Spears, I mean, she still makes money. And this is the worst time to sell anything.
What about Whitney? What about that crazy Whitney?
She can't sing.
She can't sing.
Well, the thing
she's
about
in
her,
London, and she's like,
she had to stay on stage or they wouldn't pay her.
Yeah, right. That's it.
So,
I've done that before.
Even though she couldn't, you were shitting in your pants.
Yeah, I was shitting in my pants at one time. One time I had Bob Dylan's manager going, "Come on, get off. And I was like, I don't care. I did the whole show. And they were going, we hate you. And I stayed out, and I still got my $1,500.
She couldn't remember the words to I Will Always Love You, her mega hit. $170 tickets. They tried to get their money back, but she stayed on the stage for the 2 hours, even though she couldn't hit any high notes. Her voice was raspy.
Yeah.
Her
she was doing blow.
She knew she was disappointing the crowd. Allegedly. It's going to come eventually, she said in mid-song. I want to do it, but my voice won't let it happen. I have long talks with my voice, and well, tonight she's getting a little temperamental. She stayed on stage for 2 hours, but she left for 20 minutes while the backup singers continued, backup singing.
Riffing.
I guess. Now, to me, it sounds like she went back, took a couple of hits of coke. It took her 15 or 20 minutes to come back, and she walked back out. Stay where you are. That's alleged. Although that's alleged. I will tell you what I think Whitney Houston's real problem is when we come back.
2, 3.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, with the gold in your mouth, hat turned sideways, pants hit the ground, call yourself a cool cat, looking like a fool, walking downtown with your pants on the ground, giddy up. Hey, get your pants off the ground, looking like a fool, talking with your pants on the ground, giddy up. Hey, get your pants off the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground, gold in the mouth, hat turned sideways,
It's the Jay Thomas Show. Jay Thomas. A great way to waste 3 hours. It's the afternoon show on Stars 2, Sirius 108 XM 139, and on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
Hey, Johnson. Oh, you don't have to call me Johnson. My name is Raymond J. Johnson, Jr. Now, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can call me Johnny, or you can call me Sonny, or you can call me Junie, or you can call me Ray J, or you can call me RJ, or you can call me RJJ, or you can call me RJJ Jr. But you doesn't have to call me Johnson.
What was funny about that guy? What was funny about that?
That's what people are going to say about me one day.
No, they won't. What was funny about that? I never understood why that was.
You can call me Ray. You can call me RJ. You can call me JJ.
What was... I never got what was funny about that.
I remember it.
Oh, no, and I would watch him on TV, and people would start laughing. Yeah. Now, Whitney Houston, I only met her one time years ago, and briefly. I was a disc jockey in Boston. And she seemed very interested the evening that I saw her in women. And then I've read enough about her family. I guess, is Sissy her mother? I don't know, one of the Houstons.
Sissy Houston, could you please stand up? She's in our audience tonight. And
I think Dionne Warwick is her aunt.
Dionne Warwick, can you please strip your teeth for us?
And I could be completely wrong, but I think that the reason why Whitney Houston is so screwed up is I think she lives, and I cannot prove this, and it may be completely wrong, a sexual secret. I think that deep down inside, she probably would like to be with someone else other than men, and she can't do it, and it's poisoned her. I mean it. I mean, the woman I saw was interested in women, okay? Maybe she's bisexual, whatever, allegedly. But
she has children.
She does?
Yeah.
Wow.
She has crack and whack. Wacky
But
crack.
you know what I mean? If you hadn't come out of the closet, you would have spiraled, been a drinker, everything, right? I mean, it poisons you.
Probably, I know some people like that, are just, I don't know what they're hiding, but they're hiding something, and the alcohol or the drugs really take over their lives. And, that's a real possibility. Absolutely.
And I'm only saying it because I was in her company once, and then there were all sorts of rumors about her. And there was also a rumor about one of her relatives that she had wanted to come out of the closet at one time, and they said it will destroy your career and the whole thing. Do we have her singing from last week? Do you have her screwing up? This is her.
And
this is a terrible recording. I can't. Karen, you can't tell if this is any good or not.
Oh, my God, you totally can.
I think you can tell that it's not good.
Really?
We all know that song and how,
Jay.
like, swan-like or bird-like her voice is.
Jay, come on,
Swan-like. No, that's like off of a cell phone or something.
And I will.
All right, I want you to be completely silent. Hold on. I want you to be silent. Hold on. Kevin, I want you to be quiet for 1 second. You ready? Hold on. Let's go to Janice of New York. Janice, welcome to the Pet Communicator. How are you, Janice? What communication can we do for you today? Janice?
Yes, hi. I'm sorry. I thought this was the Pet Psychic Show.
It is. I'm filling in for her today.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was calling about my cat Principessa.
Yes, Principessa. And let me guess. It's something around the neck area with Principessa, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Would it be a thyroid issue?
Yes, it is.
Wow. And what can I do for you? Do you ever hear Principessa do stuff like this? Does she clear her throat a lot?
No, I don't think so.
Excuse me, this is Dr. Kevin Meany. I'm also working with the Pet Psychic, and I'm feeling something right now. Principessa is a female cat?
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. She's had vaginal problems?
No.
No? No bleeding?
Are you positive? No bleeding from the vagina?
No bleeding from the vagina?
Not that I'm aware of.
We're both getting the same signal.
Yeah.
We see a red splotch in the
white
litter box.
sheet.
In the litter box.
Mm-hmm. Could you go check that?
Can you check that?
Hold on.
Yeah, thank you.
Go check and see if there's a red splotch.
Yeah. Oh, this is very. This is very scary.
We'll be right back.
Society's oddities played like a fiddle. The Jay Thomas Show. The afternoon drive show on Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139, and on the Sirius XM iPhone and BlackBerry app.
Sirius subscribers hear every NHL and NBA playoff game by signing up for the Best of XM.
The fight for the Stanley Cup is underway in the NHL. Every turn of the red light is on Sirius as part of the Best of XM. In the NBA,
will the Lakers repeat, or will LeBron the King finally get his ring?
The NBA playoff games are part of the Best of XM on Sirius.
Sirius XM Sports, your home for the NBA and NHL playoffs.
Get the Best of XM on your Sirius radio today. Call 888-7-I-WANT-XM or go to Sirius.com/best.
All systems turn on.
Digital stimulation commences in 3, 2, 1.
Digital stimulation with Dr. J.
Ready, go.
By now, I'm sure you've heard of Apple's latest creation, the device that will change the way you consume media forever. So, now it's here, and you're excited, right? Actually, this thing is turning out to be the most overhyped, underwhelming product reveal of all time. People have been talking about an Apple tablet since 2002, and when the iPhone came out, everyone knew it was a matter of time before Steve Jobs glued 6 of them together to make one giant iPhone. Like the iPhone, Apple's new tablet computer has no keyboard and does not multitask. Unlike the iPhone, the tablet has no phone, and it doesn't have a camera either, and it doesn't play Flash video. Now, you may wonder why I haven't referred to the tablet by its given name yet. Here it is, the iPad. When a guy hears the word pad, feminine hygiene is not the first subject that comes to mind. But for the other half of the computer buying population, the association is obvious. In fact, just hours after Apple's big reveal, the number 2 trending topic on Twitter was iTampon. Well, I suppose we can at least thank Stephen Co. for one thing. There is now a gadget that officially has a worse name than the Nintendo Wii.
Digital stimulation. I like that.
Get more Dr. J. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. East on Me and Vinny. Stars 2, Sirius 108, XM 139. Covino and Rich on Stars 2.
Hey, it's Covino. I'm Rich. Talking about all the things that you want and how to get them. Like women, the job promotion, a good sandwich, a little respect. That's what I'm saying. Also, we talk about the things that you and your friends are talking about. Sports, music, entertainment, you name it, we talk about it on the Covino and Rich Show. You need to check us out.
Covino and Rich, noon to 3 p.m. East, 9 a.m. to noon West. Covino and Rich, midday. Sirius 108 and XM 139. Stars 2.
Back filling in today for the Pet Communicator. Hello. I'm Randy Craigmore with Dr. Kevin Meaney. Janice, a few moments ago you went to check the litter box. Any red splotches in the box?
I didn't see any. It's clumping litter, so it's a little hard to see.
Yeah, that is very difficult to see.
Have
you thought about, Jay, just one thing?
Yes, go ahead, Doctor. Sure.
I'd like to always get a sample from a Q-tip. I'll always do a swab with the Q-tip and see if
right into the vaginal area.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so swab it, and then we'll give you an address, and you'll mail the Q-tip to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see that. Otherwise, how is Principessa's? Yeah. How is her attitude?
Her attitude seems fine.
Has she lashed out at you particularly recently?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Because I'm getting a feeling that she thinks you might have caused the tumor in her thyroid.
How would I do that?
She liked a certain type of food, and you forced her. I'm getting a signal. She would rather eat more fish, but you don't seem to like the smell of the fish, the fishy cat food, and you fed her more chicken and beef. Is that true?
Yes, more chicken and beef, yes.
More chicken and beef.
Yes, she wants more fish. She needs more omega-3 oils in her to fight the cancer.
How's her coat? Is her coat dry?
Well, in fact, we just took her, to the vet, and he's tweaking the thyroid medication.
Yeah.
And we got vitamin E pills to add to her...
for her coat, right.
For her coat.
Did you think about giving her an olive oil bath?
No.
No?
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
But use the Q-tip. You don't want a lot of oil on her. You just get the Q-tip and you olive oil her. Yeah. And then when she's you'll be cleaning.
She's not a lesbian cat, is she?
Does she like girl cats?
Does she like girls or boys?
Well, we have another cat who's a girl, and she doesn't seem to.
Doesn't seem to want to do that with her. Okay.
No.
So use the
Q-tip. But they probably do it when you're not in the room. That's how cats do that, like little boys.
And then 1221 Avenue of the Americas.
Lickalotopus.
Yes.
Condition.
Yeah.
Avenue of the Americas. Send the bloody Q-tip to us, and we'll get it right to the Pet Communicator. Thank you, Janice, so much.
Thank you,
Good luck.
Janice. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay? More fishy foods.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
glad we could help.
Oh, my God.
I love Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Glad we could help.
I love them.
Yeah. That was the first time we ever talked to anybody.
I just like to have a picture of her with the olive oil Q-tip, and when she shoves it into
on her hands and knees
to the cat's vagina.